And I think from what you said and from what Rob said, Boston have got a bit better at that with him in the squad.
And the ends have been swapped, so Boston United will now be shooting towards their fans. It's one of them. You presume Boston won the coin toss and chose to swap. Something away teams have been doing quite a lot at the Jatemans lately. I think I read it's 4 of the last 5 games at the Jatemans Boston have had to switch sides in the first half. So it'll be Forest Green.
Chris didn't tell you that.
Of course he did. he'll be messaging tonight.
I know.
He'll keep us informed with everything. But it's Forest Green to get us underway here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire as Boston United look to continue their very good run of form. It's 3 clean sheets in the last 4. It's 6 unbeaten for the Pilgrims, and it's they who get us underway here. And you're right, there is a scoreboard right opposite us, Michael, and Forest Green first ball forward goes out of play.
It was a different kick-off I haven't seen before. McAllister running through the middle, the little pass was to him, he ran down the left hand side and basically booted the ball straight out of play. Nice idea, but odd execution.
Do you wonder why I mentioned the scoreboard? I couldn't find it earlier, and Michael very kindly pointed out that it was right in front of us. So anyway, Boston have themselves a throw-in. Paul Hurst is Sunderland's touchline. He's right in front of us here as Teal throws it down the line. It comes off the head of Kirkhoff, and in the end it is cleared away for another Boston United throw, which Teal will take on the right-hand side.
Yeah, one of the club staff was walking on, nearly got it on the noggin.
And Robbie Savage, you might hear him in the background, shouted early on at his team as Teal lofts that ball into the penalty area, but the goalkeeper's called for it and then completely misjudged the bounce. Well, it looked like he did, Harry Eisted, but it goes out for a goal kick.
He misjudged it.
I think he did. I think he
got lucky.
He did. Eisted, wearing the number 42, the goalkeeper. Forest Green play the ball long now, and Boston deal with it eventually. Grimes gets it away, and Curzon's flick start. Hawula's going to try and get on the end of this, but Ashton comes out and just boosts that ball along, and Deutsch is up against Rooney here inside the penalty area on the left hand side, and Rooney's done so well, and then out comes Lovett, smothers it at the feet of Deutsch. So Rooney got in front of Christian Deutsch there, and the goalkeeper did well. First contribution from Rhys Lovett.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good defending, good strong defending. Deutsch trying to get in behind, and Rooney was having none of it.
An excellent Rooney. He's 2 goals in 5 games for him. Long ball forward towards Maguire, who heads on. So we were talking about Boston United and their shape. Michael, weren't quite sure how they were going to set up. How do you think they have?
Give me a couple more minutes. I mean, Maguire seems to be playing down the right side to me, the way it looks, but I'll be interested to see if he floats inside. But it does look at the moment like Hawula's on the left of the 3 and Maguire on the right. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it is now, looking at it.
Yeah. We weren't sure if it was that or Hawula or Maguire behind Curzon. Long ball from the goalkeeper. Deutsch wins the header, but Teal will go across. He scuffs his clearance, but Gallagher will manage to complete it to Maguire on the right-hand side. Maguire is fouled and wins Boston United a free kick right in front of Robbie Savage.
Yeah, he's a clever player. I mean, there wasn't much room for him to get much out of it, so he made sure he made the Forest Green player commit the foul, and Boston have a free kick, which they've already taken.
3 minutes gone here, still goalless, and the ball for Maguire's going to try and get on the end of this one. It's just booted away, and it has landed on top of the stand that we're in here at the new lawn, but it came off Teal, so Forest Green will have a throw in. Paul Hurson doing that way, you point for Boyabu to go back just a few yards, and then he'll run those yards he's gone back to take the throw anyway, and that's exactly what he does down the left hand side towards Deutsch, and in the end a foul, I think it was by Gallagher on Deutsch. Free kick to Forest Green.
Useful position. I'll tell you what, I was talking to colleagues from BBC Gloucester. They were saying that they play out from the back, Forest Green. At the moment they've belted it downfield, most of what I've seen.
Every time.
Yeah. I haven't got a problem with that, but they're not playing out from the back.
This will be
maybe needs must when you're not in a run of form.
So it'll be McAllister to take it. They made the 2 changes. Forest Green, Knowles and Mingy replaced by Mendy and Ahmed. McAllister, the skipper, will take this one left-footed into the penalty area, and Lovett comes out and punches, and he was clattered into there and wins the free kick.
I thought he did
well. The first 2 contributions from Rhys Lovett, and he's done really well with them both, and it is something I'm sure we're going to mention as the night goes on.
Yeah, I thought he was decisive there. It was a clear foul as well, but it was going to be a difficult one to catch, so just get it away from goal.
And it was one of them, he came for it, he knew he was going to get clattered as well, but it was good from Boston United number 1. If you are just joining us, Andrew Wogan, he's injured. We're not quite sure how long he'll be out for this season, so Rhys Lovett back in the team today. The other change, Kenna Bow, replaced by Greg Sloggett, as Boston United have that 3 defensive midfield against a very good Forest Green side. Hawula flicks the ball on towards Curzons. He can't quite get there, and Forest Green do clear through Campbell, and they'll just be happy to have the ball for a little bit. In fact, it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, Harry Eisted. He rolls it across to Carnu. Now Boyabu for Teal pressing high up, as is Maguire, but they do manage to play the ball along towards Deutsch. Rooney heads away, Richards picks it up in midfield for Boston, plays it to Curzons, tried to flick it onto Hawula, but he's dispossessed, and McAllister has it again and plays that ball over the top now. And Forest Green, well, for a second it looked like Deutsch was in. He's put the ball in the net, but he was offside.
No, he was offside. He went a bit too early. What I really liked there, though, was when the ball went downfield from Boston United, Hawula gambled. Curzons didn't win it well enough to put him in, but if you watch Hawula's run, he tracked inside and was looking for Curzons to try and win the ball for him.
So thoughts of Michael Horton, who's alongside myself, Dale Story, this evening for BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Grimes takes this long ball and it will reach Teal on the right hand side. He just can't quite keep it in. He made a great run there, Connor Teal, and he should have done a little bit better, but it's a throw in the left back area for Forest Green.
Do you know, when I was doing the prep for this one, Boston have actually got a decent record here. A couple of 3-0 wins.
Yep.
And Rayner scoring in one of those. A couple for Norris. And then Chardry, remember Ken Chardry and Cook scoring twice here in the same game as well. So I think it's, 2 wins out of 3 games they played here.
Yeah, with the defeat coming last season.
Thanks for the down bit, Dale. I did
1-0. And anyone that watched that game or listened to it, or the memories, the chance Boston missed right at the end. They stayed in the game 1-0, and then Marriott missed an absolute sitter to make it open goal to make it 1-1. Discussing that with Craig Singleton, the Boston United club secretary, earlier today, actually. But anyway, the performance was good.
We should say, if you're on social media, I think Craig's still on social media, make sure you send him a message tomorrow, because he is 40 tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Craig. Wonderful job he does at Boston United. Hawula now has it for Boston United down the left. Did well to keep that in. Back to Sloggett. Carson looking to play Hawula in. It was a soft pass from Carson, easily intercepted, and Forest Green are looking to break away. But just for a second there, it looked like Hawula had a bit of space to do something with it as Forest Green looked to switch it, and in the end it can't be controlled by Boyabu. Goes out.
They're a bit frenetic, aren't they, Forest Green? Don't you think the way they play, it's quite frenetic?
Yeah. I feel like it's a team that...
They've got pace in the team, you can see that.
I feel like they're desperate to do well tonight. Yes. They're obviously on this run, aren't they? They drew with Boreham Wood, away at Boreham Wood on Saturday. But they've only lost twice here this season. Carlisle and Rochdale, the 2 sides to come here and win. But they're actually, I know they're not away, but their away record is the same as Boston's. And Forest Green are a lot higher. So Boston are doing really well away from home this campaign. As Teal has a throw in, doesn't reach Hawula. Gallagher gets it back to Teal, left-footed ball forward towards Hawula. It's cleared away again, and we'll go out for a throw in as the ball is caught by Paul Hurst. Teal will take it on the right, throws it into Gallagher, takes a heavy touch, Gallagher, and then he plays it back. It's a high ball back that puts Rooney into all sorts of trouble, and he does well to head that out there, Jake Rooney. It was a terrible pass from Gallagher. Rooney did well, and but then Oshin Gallagher's done well to win this back from Forest Green. Plays the ball forward towards Curzons, but that'll go through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he toned by winning it back, because that ball back for Rooney was a nightmare, and he did extremely well to make sure that Boston United weren't in trouble. But like we said, a few seconds later, Oshin atoned for it.
And ball out to the left-hand side where Boyabu's trying to get there. He certainly tries to be the outlet on the left, and he's done well to keep that in, and then it's a back heel back to Carnu. 0-0. Boston have got some defending to do at the moment. Hawula nearly won that ball back, but it's with the number 32, Abraham Carnu again, as they look to come down the left. Cleared by Teal, throw into Forest Green, and Carnu has come across to take it. And don't think they've got a long throw, Forest Green, but he throws it forward towards Deutsch, who does win the flick on, and Forest Green look like they're going to keep this in, but there's a flag up there against,
offside.
I think it's McAllister, and it's a free kick, to Boston.
Yeah, it was a nice idea from Forest Green looking to flick it in behind, although they're going to have to do really well because he was chasing the ball down by the corner flag, but just went a bit too early. But I kind of agree with you, understandably, with this, Dale, but they look like a team desperate to try and get some sort of form back.
And it's one of them, I think, the longer it stays 0-0,
Absolutely.
the more that nerves are going to, or anxieties, or, because they've not done so well. And Boston can capitalise as Carson has it. Finds Hawula on the left-hand side. Sloggett now, back in the team today. Greg Sloggett to the left-hand side now. Carson, first chance for him to cross it towards Kerson's at the near post. It's cleared away twice by Forest Green. First real threat from Boston. Down the right, the left I should say, because they're coming down the right now with Oshin Gallagher. It's his cross, goes out for a throw-in.
Moves the ball really sweetly from left to right, Boston United. A lot of confidence on the ball at the moment from the Pilgrims, and a chance to get it into the box now with this throw.
Which will be from Teal. Throws it in towards Curzons. It's an awkward one, and then, Boston United, there's a player down there. I can't quite see who it is. And they've got a penalty. It's a penalty. Who is it on the floor? Is it Sloggett?
I think so.
Flung himself at the ball with his head.
Yeah.
And they look like a high foot. It's gone down. Boston have a penalty.
The referee had a real think about that. He was flying in, but you know what? I can see Robbie Savage is not happy. The only thing I would say is that he was stooping slightly, but it wasn't like he was stooping down to sort of waist level. He was still had his head probably around shoulder height. I kind of get why Robbie Savage is upset, but I don't care because Boston have got a penalty.
To me, it's one of them where anywhere else on the pitch is a free kick because it's a low head, high foot.
Yeah, it's Sloggett definitely who was caught in the head.
So, Frankie Maguire, 12 minutes gone. Can he give Boston United the lead against Harry Eisted? He's usually pretty reliable from the spot, Maguire. A man that's had an excellent season. Referee doing his last-minute checks here. Can the Pilgrims take the lead? It is Frankie Maguire, sends the keeper the wrong way, and Boston United take the lead. It's a great penalty from Maguire. Forest Green 0, Boston 1.
Very good penalty. The keeper went completely the wrong way. Very composed from Frankie Maguire in front of the Boston United fans. And you said a few minutes ago, what is it going to be like for Forest Green if it's still 0-0 after 30 minutes? Well, guess what? It's 1-0 after to come up to 12 minutes.
Yeah, and suddenly all those worries that they might have. Robbie Savage having a go at the referee. It's Maguire's fifth goal of the campaign.
He's still talking to the fourth official. I think the referee is not interested in coming talking to Robbie Savage. Honest answer, Dale, if it was against Boston United, I think I'd be a little bit cheesed. But I can see why it's given. So I feel like I'm sitting on the fence. So I'm going to say,
sitting on the fence.
I'm going to say I would be upset if I was a Boston United fan with that. If it had gone the other way around, if you see what I mean.
Michael Horton.
What are you going to go for?
Sitting on the fence.
What would you?
It's the most clear-cut decision. Boston are coming forward again here, down the left-hand side. Forest Green are all over the place. Can they get the shot away? It was Curzons. Oh, and he's just dispossessed. And it goes back to the goalkeeper. He had Maguire in the box as well. Well, he probably should have done better there.
That could easily have been 2-0. I mean, they did get players back. I talked about Forest Green having a bit of pace and the players managed to get back, but it was just a simple ball through down the left channel that got them in. And Boston United will feel they can get more here this evening.
And you mentioned it about 10 minutes ago, Michael. Boston are playing with confidence, and you can see it.
And composure. And a bit of aggression there. Frankie Maguire, I don't know how he's
giving away a free kick.
Yeah, I'm not so sure, but a rare
soft one
victory. Robbie Savage will feel after he's still not happy about the penalty.
Well, I'm sure Paul Hurstel will have his views at the end of the game. He's in conversation with the fourth official now as Robbie Savage talks to the linesman. But Forest Green have a free kick, left-hand side of the penalty area here. Boston leading 1-0, 14 minutes gone on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. McAllister, the captain, will take it as the home side look for an immediate response. Plays it in towards the penalty spot in the end. It's Boston got a head onto it. Then there was a shot driven in, blocked by Grimes over on the far side, and Carson thought he kept it in, but he didn't. He's gone out for a throw-in on the halfway line for Forest Green. And Boston, well, last time they were 7 unbeaten was a run in 2024.
Christian texts you.
Are you going to say that every time? I have got some things written down here, by the way. Oh.
But I was right, wasn't I?
Well, yes, he did, but that's not the point. Forest Green have a throw in down the right-hand side, and they don't do anything with it. And Boston United end up with a throw in the left-back area for Matty Carson, and Boston United scoring that penalty in front of a decent following.
Yeah, really good.
The travelling, the distance, and Tuesday night.
I was trying to see, because some of the supporters sort of round the corner from us in the seated area. I reckon there's probably about 100 to 150 maybe, somewhere in that area, once you had the ones round the corner where you can't see. Also to say, Dale, as things stand, Boston up to 10th in the table.
So if they win tonight, they will definitely go top. Solihull are not playing, and Christian didn't text me that one.
Who'll go top?
Go 10. Did I say top?
Top, I was going to say
10. Oh, God. Do you want to just take over? Sack me now.
Okay.
Boston are going in the top 10.
Right.
Is what I meant to say, if you'd let me get the word 10 out. But, oh dear. I thought it'd just be names I got wrong tonight, but anyway. Boston are leading 1-0, and Forest Green, while we point out my mistakes, they're passing the ball around at the back. Cano has it now, it's going to go long, and it's something they've done a lot in the early stages here at the new lawn. Gallagher's going to try and win that for Boston United, but it is picked up by Nwoko, and he plays a really good ball out to the right-hand side. Boston have got some defending to do here. That's what Carson does, but McAllister still manages to get the cross in, and it's headed away by Rooney. He had to make a decision. He's headed it over his own goal to corner to Forest Green.
It's really smart defending from Rooney, just getting sort of back post, waiting for the ball. All the other players have gone further forward. There was a Forest Green player lurking, and he just heads over, safety first.
It's a couple of very clever headers so far we've seen from Jake Rooney, who scored 2 headers on Boston's last away game at Scunthorpe. Boston United, Robbie Savage in discussion still with the fourth official. 2 dugouts very close to each other here at the new lawn. Corner kick, then it's oh dear. Well, it's a low one that just hits Awula, and he boots it away.
One of the worst corners I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Robbie Savage still moaning, by the way.
Not about that corner, as
yes.
it's on the ref's fault, as the ball is played long. Boston have got some defending to do. Maguire forces them back, but this is a really good run from Nwoko. Sid a lot of the ball, then he plays it out to the left-hand side where Mendy is going to try and make space for a cross. Back to McAllister, seeing a lot of the ball. Is their top scorer, he gets it in the box towards Deutsch, heads it across the 6-yard area, and then a sliced clearance. I think it was Grimes, and Boston, I think, got away with one there.
Very lucky. The ball best bounced nicely for where they were, but Forest Green are turning up the wicket a little bit and starting to get the ball moving a bit more.
Certainly are. McAllister certainly pulling the strings. He's their top scorer, the number 7, with 7 goals this season. The skipper has Awula as well to win that ball back from Campbell, but Campbell then won it back, but it goes out for a Boston United throw-in, and he's still 1-0.
I was just thinking, did you do the game, the corresponding game earlier in the season, Forest Green?
I was there. I didn't do it. It was Rob and
So how
Paul
does
Hurst.
this compare? Because I wasn't at the Jatemans for that one, I don't remember being there. And the only thing that stands out for me is that my impression was that Boston had a lot less possession at the Jatemans than they probably are. I haven't looked at the stats at the moment, but I imagine it's about 50-50. Is that fair?
We felt that the tactic that night, I was there with friends, that Boston, I'll tell you in a sec, Forest Green are coming forward, but Taylor has come across and done really well there. It was one of them where Boston looked to contain and then have a go with the last 10 minutes, whereas today, right from the off, they look like they're going to go on the offensive when they get the chance.
Absolutely.
So yes, to answer your question, Boston certainly have more of the ball.
More of a threat.
Definitely, 100%.
They won the ball back.
But it was a very good point. They've won the ball as Maguire plays it down the line to Curzon, so I think will be offside, and then it's hit the defender. Curzon smashes it towards goal. I think Curzon's was offside when the ball was played by Maguire, but then it's an attempted head back by Kirchhoff, which put Curzon's through, but I think because he was offside originally from Maguire's ball, that's why the flag went up.
Well, Kirchhoff had a real hiccup there, didn't he, in terms of his defending. That was not good defending. He's got away with one there, and probably offside when the initial ball was played, but it's worth it. It was a flick header through that he chased after, and kind of sums up why they don't necessarily look too secure at the back.
Ball forward from Forest Green. Richards then draws the foul from Doige, something Jordan Richards does really well, and Boston United have a free kick and there'll be no rush. And something that, again, Michael touched on earlier is how Boston manage situations like this a lot better. And you can just, if you just see Grimes now again giving his orders, telling players where he wants them, leading. Such a signing, Jamie Grimes. Love it, in no rush to take this free kick for Boston United, and eventually he does. He goes long, but it's too long, and we'll go through to the opposition goalkeeper. We're in the 20th minute, and Boston United lead by a goal to nil. Frankie Maguire with the penalty, a really convincing penalty as well, after a foul on Greg Sloggett. As Forest Green are coming forward now. Sloggett can't win that ball back, but Richards does and prods it forward to Hawula. Chests it down to Maguire, his touch.
Nice play.
He was fouled, but the referee has played on because Carson is on the left-hand side. It's a great ball in towards Kersons. He stretched with his feet, and it will go out for a throw-in down by the corner flag.
Do you know, that is such a good piece of play from Boston United. What's so good for the Pilgrims at the moment is in Kersons to have a player who's going to absolutely work hard to get in the box, get in the 6-yard box. I know he didn't get a connection, but the Boston players know he's going to try and get in there at least.
Should you not have tried to head that diving header? I was never I was a 6-side goalie, I don't know, but just thought I'd ask the question, as Maguire wins it for Boston United, headed away, but Sloggett will pick it up for the Pilgrims and plays a good ball out to the left-hand side, where Matty Carson will pick it up for Boston to Richards, back to Carson on that left-hand side. Plays it down the line to Hawula. It's a nice touch into Sloggett, and Hawula nearly got that back, but Forest Green have won it back, and then it's gone out for a Boston throw on the halfway line.
Fair to say Hawula, one of the ones that really benefited from Paul coming in?
Yes, 100%. He's, I think a word I've used a lot, he's excelled. And I think Jordan Richards on the ball, because off the ball Jordan Richards has always been really good. They're the two that really stand out for me. But Hawula, like I say, the fact he's got in and a bow, he's on the bench, I think is a sign of how well Hawula's been doing, because the bow has been excellent. But anyway, Boston have a throw in on the left-hand side to be taken by Matty Carson, about halfway inside the Forest Green half. The Pilgrims leading 1-0. And towards Maguire. Kersons looks to flick that one on, but there's no one there, and it's cleared away. It's a high clearance, but again, you should hear a few groans from the Forest Green fans as Rooney comes across and heads that ball brilliantly down the line to Teal now on the right-hand side. Back to Maguire. Lays it off to Oshin Gallagher. Boston have got men coming forward here, and they've switched over to the left-hand side. Sloggett now chooses to shoot. Oh, and it goes just wide. It took a deflection, and Boston have a corner.
They're playing really well. Yep. They are playing really well, moving the ball well, looking like what they are, a team on a decent run. And Paul Hurst must be delighted.
Well, he looks the calmest man, as always,
doesn't he?
In the
he did joke to me he could come out up and do the summarising at the same time.
I've told him a few times he can come and sit with us, especially with my summariser tonight, who he is. Very easy.
Remember who the boss is.
I knew you'd say that at some point. Anyway, Boston have a corner. Matty Carson to take it 1-0 to the Pilgrims. Carson plays it in, and Gallagher got his head onto it, and well, it was a free header, but he had to really direct it, and it goes over the bar.
There are more goals to come in this one, I think. Potentially for Boston United, but Forest Green in possession, a goal to 0 down. That penalty for Frankie Maguire, but the Pilgrims pretty quickly win it back on the right-hand side through Teal. Back to Rooney, who's looked composed, alongside Grimes, all the way back to the keeper, Love It, who goes high and long downfield. Kerson's looking for the flick on, comes back to Boston in midfield, Sloggett, then Richards. Richards taking his time, getting the ball out to the right to Teal. Back inside to Richards. The number 9 turn on his back, spreads the ball to the left-hand side in Carson, and then it's forward to Hawula. Hawula down the left-hand side, playing the ball in to Kersons, just sticks at him. Back inside again. Chance for Boston. Beat away by the keeper. Shot comes in again. I think it's an offside, is it? That's gone wide.
What a move that was. Wow. What a move. Hawula coming inside, finds Kersons, he lays it off to Maguire. It's a lovely flick. He sees a run from Sloggett. Sloggett shot straight at the keeper. It's a decent save. He got power behind it.
Playing well.
Boston, the sense a second.
Yeah. Really good. And I have to say, I only saw a bit of Hawula was it last week? I was long ball forward from Forest Green. They could be in here, but and then Rooney does enough just to
he was
play it
onside
across
there, wasn't he?
He was
McAllister.
onside, and Boston get it forward, and then that's a good piece of play from Maguire. Looking for Hawula, can't get hold of it. Forest Green have it back on the right hand side, kicking towards their own fans in the first half. It's remember Lovett in goal. Wogan picking up an injury. The other big news before kick-off was Liam McCarron signing. Last Northampton in terms of a football club, but also recently in the PFA training squad.
Looking forward to seeing him.
Be interesting to see. Talk about pace, talk about playing potentially as a 10, so maybe a bit of cover for Frankie Maguire. He's done really well. He's the difference in this game so far, winning a
Do you know the one thing that wasn't
penalty? Scoring a penalty.
the one thing that wasn't was a Boston throw. It was either a Forest Green throw or a foul.
I know, but I did like the fact that Robbie Savage was complaining about histrionics. It's just like, really? It's very funny. Thrown down the line, flicked on by Gallagher, and Boston have it. Very tight, lots of players. There's 4 or 5 Forest Green players around the ball. They've eventually won it back, and they're going to go long from deep, from Mendy. Boston have it back on the edge of their own area. What I like is they're calmly playing out. That's lovely feet from Maguire to pick up a free kick. They're running it in midfield at the moment.
It's clever management because, you know, the run they've been on, to change the shape slightly, you could question it, but Sloggett coming in, having that 3 in midfield, Forest Green are really, that's why they're going long, because they're just struggling.
And they are. It's exactly what you said, and unfortunately, Curzons couldn't quite get control because it was almost on cue for what you said.
He was through, wasn't he?
Just
that
bounced a
first
bit
touch,
high for him.
Awkward bounce. And if he's through on goal, he scores.
Yep.
He's that kind of forward.
Well, forward come Forest Green, ball in the Boston box, is going to bounce through, and Lovett will gather it in. Remains 1-0 to Boston United. And Peter Costello, we were talking to him on the show a while back, and he was saying a 1-in-2 striker, you know, that sort of striker, I think, wasn't it, that Curzons looks like he's got that sort of opportunities. He's not somebody who's going to shell too many.
No, but also he's one of them that it's not just going to be about his as the goalkeeper takes a throw in there.
Yeah, I'm not there for that.
Curzons is not going to be one of them also that he's just going to be about his goals. Do you know what I mean? Because his work rate, he's winning the ball when he probably shouldn't do and stuff like that.
He stretches the defence.
He's going to be so much more than just a goal scorer. What a signing he is.
Sloggett playing it forward, Hawula, and now it's into the feet of Gallagher. Gallagher back over the halfway line to Rooney. Goes long out to the left-hand side, looking for Carsons. Heads it inside, should be cleared. Back towards the halfway line. Hawula goes up again. The referee's given the decision Boston's way. I think handball.
The defender booted it, and it's hit. Is it McAllister again? I think, and it's hit his arm.
So hopefully there's a scoreboard right in front of us. 27 minutes gone. Forest Green 0, Boston United 1.
And these are the opportunities. We saw it at Scunthorpe when they scored 6. The set pieces, they're so good in the air. You've got Gallagher, you've got Grimes, you've got Rooney, you've got Curzons, you've got Hawula, you've got Sloggett, who is actually on the edge of the area at the moment. They're such a threat from these set pieces, Boston United.
All the Forest Green players back defending this one. Boston player in short to Hawula, then lifted into the box, back post, Sorshin, Gallagher's forward, and then it's nearly finished, back post, very close to Grimes, the captain scoring. They have a corner, they're not dealing with a high ball in the box at the moment.
It's off the line, isn't it? The goalkeeper's completely missed it. Grimes has prodded it towards goal. The defender's well positioned to clear that. Boston's second corner, but set pieces. And I'm just literally pointing out, I think the Gallagher was nearest the goalkeeper, he just couldn't handle it. And also, what I didn't mention, Michael, is you're going to get quality delivery from Maguire or Carson. So,
well, they're both out there. It's going to be Carson's who's going to take it. And he takes it short. Then Frankie Maguire fires it in the box. Hit it in! 2-0 Boston United. They're all over them. And I think it's the captain scoring, Grimes, to make it 2.
It is. Brilliant header. I said there's such a threat from set pieces. It's a great cross from Maguire. It's a fantastic header from the skipper. Well, I said it at Scunthorpe, I'll say it again. Wow.
But
2-0.
What a well-worked corner, because they didn't come and press the corner. And so what they did is that Carsons took it to Maguire. Maguire then whips it in from the right-hand side. It's a free header, though. I mean,
it's a free header. It's clever movement.
It's a great header, but
defending.
it's free header. And the noise you could hear behind us for the last minute, and also straight afterwards, is Robbie Savage. He's incandescent with his players. Look, he can moan about the first goal. He can't moan about the second one, apart from his players.
Yeah, no, completely agree.
Already.
And it's one of them from a Boston head. We can say brilliant, great header. But if you Forest Green, the defending's dreadful. Grimes is the biggest player on the pitch. He's got a free header. It's a great header.
But it's not rocket science. He's going to be the biggest threat from set pieces, isn't he?
What's so hard, though, and I mentioned it a minute ago, is that because Boston have got that many options from set pieces, you're not quite sure where they're going to go. For example, Forest Green, every time they've gone long or in the box, they're aiming for Doige. Boston, you don't know. Is it going to be Gallagher? Is it going to be Grimes? Who nearly scored in the lead-up to that corner as well. Rooney got 2 the other week. They're such a threat.
Carson,
I think they'll score again, Michael.
They really do. Could be a
do.
few more at the moment, and I think Robbie Savage senses it. Cross into the Boston United area and it's headed over. That's got to go down as the first big moment for Forest Green Rovers. It was a decent cross on the left-hand side, probably a bit too much height to get it down. There's the warning to Paul Hurst's players.
I mean, Doige has been the threat, hasn't he? Really, he's the experienced striker. It's Rooney's done really well against him. But there, I think he should do better with that. I think it's a hard chance, but a player of his quality, I think, needs to be getting out on target. And I think Forest Green are going to make some changes here, Michael. They are. They're going to make one.
Well, that is extraordinary, isn't it?
And this looks tactical to me as well.
Yeah, it's the number 32, Khan, who's coming off, and he's been replaced by Bunker. And let's see what the reaction is from... Is he injured? I didn't really see his reaction to the manager. Bunker looks a bigger centre-half to me.
I was just going to say that.
A bigger unit.
I think it's the height, because they're not dealing with Boston's height. I think that's exactly what he's done, and at 2-0 you're still in the game. You let a third in.
Oh, and it's a long ball downfield that Hawula would chase. The keeper will gather. Look, I get it, but at the same time, if you're a manager making a change after 30 minutes for those sorts of reasons, that's on you as well.
Well, it's one of those that if you do your research and you've planned for this properly, you probably start your big centre off, don't you? Well, how good Boston are in the air.
Well, especially you look at Grimes. He's going to be one of the better defenders in the air at the moment in the league. He's just come down from League Two. He was a captain of a side that won in the National League and got promotion. And Boston coming forward again. Oisin Gallagher centrally out towards the left-hand side. Carson clips the ball forward. And then it looks like a foul on the edge of the box. Wow. That's been given a free kick for Boston United right on the edge.
And that's Bunker. It's his first contribution.
Well done.
He's given a foul away.
You might want to be in a bunker the way they are playing.
Is that they brought him on just to give a few fouls away maybe, but no.
Well, Maguire I think is going to take this, isn't he? The way it's lining up.
Well, Carson Maguire over it, but it's over on the... He favours the right foot.
Maguire, doesn't it? Left side of goal. Boston 2 up. Remember, Maguire starting the scoring from the penalty spot, and then Grimes, the captain, getting the second moments ago. And the Pilgrims fans, it's I'd imagine it's about a 4-hour drive, 4-hour drive back to Boston at the moment. It'll fly by. So, Carson Maguire over this one. You've got to think it's going to be Maguire who's going to take it. Suits his positioning. Might not be. It will be Maguire though. Steps up, right footed over the wall. And as you can tell, as it hits the sustainability and sports sign over the goal, it went well over the top.
The biggest cheer the home fans have had, isn't it?
Boston 2 up here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Remember, no game for them on Saturday. It's forward come Forest Green, halfway inside the Pilgrims' half. Boston back in numbers, trying to keep their shape. Paul Hurst watching now, arms folded, as that's a poor ball across. Had to chase back Forest Green to keep it in play. Picked up Buyabu, looking to get across it. It's a decent cross inside the area. Excellent defensive header from Boston United. They've got it further away. Now they've got a chance to play the ball over the top, but Maguire played it a long way downfield, and that's well beyond Curzon.
Who headed that away? I think it was Rooney again, wasn't it?
It was.
I mean, what a game he's having.
Yeah.
That's at least 3 massively important headers.
He's come from a championship club. You know, I mean, it's a quirk, isn't it, that he's had to come this level to find for. To his credit as well, by the way, that he has. But when you look at Boston signings, I know that Wogan, the disappointment of him being injured, but all 3 of the recent signings, you know, we haven't seen anything of today's signing, but all 3 have had an impact, haven't they?
They certainly have, and yes, they've come from a higher level. But you when you're at that level, you're not quite used to the physicalities maybe at this level. So I think this is where Rooney will certainly learn a bit more to his game.
He'll learn a lot from Grimes as well.
100%. The signings have all been excellent.
Boston happy to smash the ball downfield. Oh, that's not the best of defending. Oh, the keeper heads it out of play from outside of his own area. Calamity defending.
And in the end, he's done well.
He's got his head in his hands.
To be fair, the keeper's done well because Curzon would be through again if he's not done that.
Ah, shocking.
He was dreadful.
Well, it's keystone stuff. Boston won't care though. They have a 2-0 lead. At the moment, I say you could have argued maybe when the penalty first went in, the controversy potentially around it, but I think Boston more than worthy of their leaders. It's going to be a throw for Forest Green inside their own half.
Oh, they deserve to be winning, definitely, and 2-0. It's about right. I think Boston sense a third, and if they're going to get a third, I imagine it'll be before half-time. These next 10 minutes are massive for Forest Green.
They are indeed. They've got it to Buyabo, who's looked one of the few threats. Drives it out towards the right-hand side. I think he's overhit this one. No, it's just about kept in play. But Forest Green are going to have to go back towards the centre of the pitch. Now they're going to lift the ball into the Boston United area. Goes over the head of the Pilgrims defender. But now they get a chance to pump the ball away. It was a poor touch. And it's cleared away for Boston United. Ball back in the box again. And then they clear once again. And it's Frankie Maguire looking to try and win a free kick, can't do so. It was Ocean Gallagher with a challenge, and then across comes Richards, and he clears long downfield. There's no Forest Green player. There's no Boston United player down there. It's picked up by Forest Green, and with 35.5 minutes gone, Boston have a 2-0 lead here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Dale Story and myself, Michael Horton, your commentary team. No game for Boston. They're back in action on Tuesday night next week. Boston defending this one, cleared away. There you go.
I knew that was coming. You've done well.
I think it's the red and white has confused me. Joke before anyone. Anyways, picked up by Forest Green out towards the right-hand side. It's played down the line. This should be defended by the Pilgrims, and that should go out for a goal kick, and it does. And I think they're worthy of this lead. I think the penalty, you could argue at that moment it was pretty even Stevens, and it was a penalty that felt a little controversial, but I think now you'd say Boston more than deserve their 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and it could be more. You think the chance for Sloggett, Curzon was nearly through a couple of times. Forest Green, it's very confusing. I feel at times they're trying to overplay it. For example, just down here when Boybu has the ball and he decides to just switch it across. Their biggest threat has been when they've actually got down the flanks and crossed it. That's when Boston, it's been the last-ditch Rooney and the last one was Grimes headers. Oh dear.
Yellow card for Reece Lovett, that's very early.
Yes. So his game management now becomes very important.
Well, you just can't waste time anymore. That feels like it's normally a second half thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Oh, he nearly came through to Hawulis. Another chance to roll through, but cut off. Do you know what Forest Green feel like? They feel like they play off the cuff a little bit. You know, you saw that, like you talked about Buyabu's ball across the field. It didn't feel like that's something that they'd planned. It was just something that he went for.
Yeah. But it's not working.
No, it's not at the moment. Boston United are dealing with it. Kirkhoff has it. They've had a couple of real poor defensive lapses. Frankie Maguire nearly wins it back. Kirkhoff has it. Plays it across the middle. Remember, there's already been a change from Forest Green as a result of this 2-0 lead. And now Ocean Gallagher, that's brilliant, and he plays it straight through the middle. Curzon's chasing through. Can he make it 3? You bet he can. 3-0 Boston United. Forget the booze, it's brilliant from Boston.
Do you know, I had to stop myself going, this is going in, while you were commentating, Mark. You just knew he was going to score. So confident, 6-in-6 now for Curzon. It's a great piece of play by Gallagher. The pass through the middle was outstanding. And as soon as Curzon's got through on goal, if ever there's a striker in confidence at the moment, it's that young man. Cool, quality finish.
6th goal.
3-0 Boston United. Unbelievable. And do you know what? They deserve it.
I think they
deserve it.
They're much more of a threat. They look much more joined together as a team. It's the second time I've seen Boston under Paul. and you can see his fingerprints on it. There's a plan, isn't there? You know, and I thought what was interesting is that Robbie Savage, I mean, he looked like he was almost in the crowd watching it. I mean, if a body language couldn't absolutely shout frustration, I'm not sure he would have calmed down in the 7 minutes. In 7 minutes somebody has to walk across the pitch to the changing rooms, and frankly it could get worse for his team the way Boston are playing.
This is just, again, very similar to how Boston played at Scunthorpe, and it's just exciting. It's so exciting to watch. It really is. And you're right about Robbie Savage as Forest Green comes forward.
The Boston penalty here. Forest Green picking up right on the edge on the right hand side. Boston back in numbers defending. Foot shot driven in, cleared away again at the cost of a throw. Chris Doidge was not happy with something there.
I think Robbie Savage looks shocked.
Well, yes.
I don't think he quite.
Well, let's not forget they're on a bad run anyway, aren't they? But it's a shot driven across the goal. It's well wide in the end, and it's going to be a Boston goal kick. But I think every time Boston come forward at the moment, they look like they can score. And when you look at it, if we even put to the side, you know, the Contreras penalty, it was a well taken one from Frankie. It was a great set piece move that, you know, yes, Forest Green were asleep, but, you know, it was a great header from the captain and a lovely through ball from Oshin Gallagher, which I agree with you. As soon as he runs through, I'm like, he's scoring.
Yep.
He's scoring.
Honestly, it took so much for me not to just go, this is going in. Brilliant.
What a great signing he's been. What a great position Boston United are in. Still some way to go in this game. They've still got about 5 minutes to half time as Forest Green are going to pick up a free kick, and I think there's a yellow card here as well. Trying to see who that is.
Not sure. Carson?
I think it's Carson. Carson's got the yellow. Should remember Reece Lovett got a yellow. It felt like an early, and that's the only, I won't say demerit, but the only concern I would have thought for Paul.
Yeah, Carson, he's
got to be delighted with his players though.
He's still looking very chilled, isn't he?
I think that's how he is, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It rubs off on the players.
Yep.
He's a very calming, brilliant footballing man. He's someone we got to know very well here at BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Then he sees the game like a fan. You know, he sees it. He knows what's good. He knows what's also not good. So
his free kick is to the right of the D. It's one for a left footer to take. Can't quite see the number of the player. It's going to be. Referee's not happy. They just moved the ball back.
He's moved it an inch. Yep.
It wasn't even that, was it?
Going to make all the difference. This.
It's a great opportunity though for Forest Green to get a goal back in this game. Steps up, left-footed. It hits the Boston United wall. It's cleared away. Didn't really threaten Boston's goal again. Now they've played the ball for a second. I thought it was going to be in behind one for Curzons to chase. Goes out for another throw for Forest Green. And Robbie
big
Savage,
wall to get over, wasn't it?
You could almost have Robbie Cam, couldn't you, for his body language at the moment.
There's the Boston fans saying, Savage, what's the score?
Sacked in the morning as well. Long way to go in the game, though, but Boston United in an incredibly good position, no doubt about that. There's Forest Green now, ball chipped in the Pilgrims area, it goes right across, going to be picked up by Boo on the left-hand side. Boston defending here, trying to block the cross. That's really good. Ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw.
Yeah, Connor Turf's done so well there because Boyboo, he's their threat, isn't he? Lots of step overs there. You don't know when the cross is coming in. Teal as well.
Great news of Lincoln United 2-0 up at Blythe. Both from a corner. Brown and Swin scoring theirs.
Connor Brown scoring lots for them at the moment.
And I haven't seen the games for goals, so I'm going to say it's still 0-0 in their match against Leek. Could probably do with a win to strengthen their chances of playoffs. It's Boo on the left-hand side. I'll let you come in on that in a second, Dale. There's a chance for Teal to try and block the cross. That's really good defending. Does exactly that. Still in play. Boo certainly got the pace, but Connor Teal at the moment is matching him and dealing with him. Boston trying to just block off the crosses, and they've won the ball back. And it's Frankie Maguire runs into a spot of bother though and concedes possession. And it's back with those lime green, black and white kits of Forest Green Rovers on the edge of the Pilgrims area. Ball chip back post, and it goes out over the heads of everyone. And Boo drives it in. And that's in the end decent goalkeeping from Lovett to push it behind for a corner.
I would say that's really good goalkeeping, Michael, because I don't think he sees that to the very last second. He's got his near post covered. It's a shot. He's taking a deflection. He's got bodies in front of him. you know, for a goalkeeper that we really want to play well tonight, he's done really well so far. 43 goals.
Ball into the penalty area, scooped away by a Boston defender. And then
Forest Green have had 2 corners and they've been dreadful. Both of them.
The first one was that was bad.
Much
the first
better.
one was even worse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say beat the first man, didn't beat the first blade of grass, frankly. It's been this is another great run through the middle. And Gallagher trying to play it through, and that was inches from running the run.
Bunkers come up.
Well,
that interception.
And it's back with Forest Green centrally, getting out towards Booba on the left-hand side. Boston trying to block the cross ball into the penalty area, and a stooping header half clears it away, and then it comes off a Forest Green player and goes behind for a goal kick. 3-0 Boston United.
There's been a couple of crosses where Boston had a little bit of luck. That there, I think it was Carson. It was a bit odd what he did. It was a stoop, and he's headed it. And it's hit the Forest Green player and gone out for a goal kick. But, you know, I keep mentioning how poor Forest Green have been, but I think a lot of that is because of how good Boston have been. And you said a few minutes ago about, well, they're on a bad run. But, talking to local media, they've been playing quite well, and they've been playing the top sides of this division. Boston United, they'd have felt this is the one where they start to turn their season around and start winning again. And Boston
Hawula wins the ball
excellent.
back.
Curzons is taking a kick in the back there, I think.
That will be a concern. 2 minutes of stoppage. I think he's all right.
I think it was a knee in the back just as he went up for that ball. It's
when you're on a run of, was it 6 goals
6
now? You're not gonna want to come off.
No, I'm sure he won't.
I'm sure Christian's going through all the stats.
If we get one wrong, I know there'll be a message.
Forest Green have possession. 45 minutes gone. We're in those 2 minutes of stoppage time now. Boston trying to make sure they get to half-time with their clean sheet. And they go long downfield. Curzons chases after it, and the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw. It's going to be a throw for Carson to take.
You asked me earlier about his Hawula improve, you know, under Paul Hurst, and I said him and Richards. I forgot to mention Matty Carson as well. Yeah. He's another one that has just got better. We know he's got that quality cross on him, but he's also defensively, I think, got a lot better in left back. And he's keeping Alex Lancashire out the side. He was a lot more defensive minded.
But Booyaboo has it. I mean, he likes to run with the ball, but he's running basically all the way to one side of the pitch and all the way to the other.
Teal's been great against him.
Yeah, and Oshin was checking him there. Now Teal trying to block off the cross, as is Oshin Gallagher. Big, strong player, Oshin. And it's with Forest Green. They're looking for a goal just before the break. 30 seconds or so to go. Boston 3-0 up. The ball into the penalty, headed away. Once again, I think it was Rooney. And Forest Green maybe with a chance to shoot from distance straight into the chest of Lovett, and that should be that. We should get to half-time with Boston 3 up. And
well, that was Harvey Bunker, the centre-half that came on, and it's not very often a centre-half can fire one from there and it goes in the back of the net. But
I think some of the Forest Green players will want to be in a bunker at half-time, not with their manager.
Be a very interesting team talk as Richards wins the free kick. It'd be a very interesting team talk, Forest Green.
If Forest Green had it on a radio feed, I think we'd give it to everyone because it'd be interesting. But that shouldn't decry how good Boston United have been.
No, I think that's something I'm aware that I'm probably in danger of doing, the fact to go on about how poor Forest Green have been, but that's because of how good Boston have been. They've been absolutely brilliant.
That's it. Boos from the home fans. I'm not surprised. It has been poor from Forest Green, and I'm sure Robbie Savage, who's still in conversation on the sidelines with one of his players, will be angry about the penalty decision. But forget about that, because Boston have been brilliant this evening so far. 3-0 at the break. The first coming from that penalty. It was a foul from Sloggett. Frankie Maguire with the finish, and then it was Frankie Maguire and Carson who worked that set piece and the headed ball home from the captain Grimes, and then a great ball through the middle from Oshin Gallagher, and a calm, composed finish from Curzons. Boston United 3 up, and frankly, could have been more.
Could have been more. I think Sloggett's had a chance. I think Curzons had a couple where he looked like he might get through, and if he had, like we said, you know, once he goes through, he scores. I think Boston, you know, from back to front have been really good. I think Lovett's looked a lot more solid than he would have done 6 or 7 games ago. I think the back four has been as good as it has been this season. Teal is up against their danger man in Boyaboo, and I think he's had the better of him most of the time.
Yep.
Rooney and Grimes, they're, how good they've been in the air, but also on the floor. Rooney in particular has been a couple of times that he's had to make some very clever headers to stop awkward situations. And then in midfield, Boston have run the midfield. They've completely run it. They've gone 3 in the middle today in Sloggett, Gallagher and Richards, and they've completely dominated the game, which I think is a reason why Forest Green have chosen to go long, which is what we weren't quite expecting from them. And then in attack, we talk about those front three. Well, first of all, Geordie Hawula, he's playing with such confidence at the moment, and we're finally, I think, seeing the best of him. And Maguire, I always think opposition just scared of Maguire. Took his penalty well.
Clever player.
He's a very clever player. And then Curzons, I mean, I've said it to you a couple of times, you're commentating, and it really was, I was just wanted to shout he's going to score, because you just knew it. He's so good with one-on-ones. I think that's his 3rd one-on-one now. He got 2 at Scunthorpe. Just trying to think of his other goals. I think it was the header.
He looks like one of those players
6 in 6.
He'll have 2 chances and he'll score one of them.
Definitely, and it wouldn't surprise me if he scores again. He's playing with such confidence. He suits Boston's style of play, which has changed quite a bit under Paul Hurst for the better. It's the near perfect first half for Boston United. It really is.
Fingers crossed for the second half. Dale will be back for that. Let's head across to the North Home to Dave Remnant for half-time details on Gainsborough Trinity.
Well, Trinity yet to catch fire here, Michael. The opposition looking menacing as the half progressed. Keeping up the momentum has been an issue for the Holy Blues, with the ball moving sideways and backwards far too often. While Herne went close early on with a free kick, Hornshaw clipped the post and Bootroyd didn't make the most of a great opportunity. But Leake's confidence has kept the home defence very much on their toes here, Michael. Half-time score, Gainsborough Trinity 0, Leake Town 0.
Elsewhere, I can tell you that Lincoln United, fantastic scoreline for them. Brown and Swin scoring in the first half, away at Blythe, leading by 2-0 at the break. But 3-0 here for Boston United. Last I looked, up to 10th in the table. We'll be back with second half commentary, about 10 minutes or so. Back to Callum in the studio.
Thank you very much, Michael. Yeah, I don't think that could have gone much better, really, in retrospect. Yeah, 3-0 up for Boston United against Forest Green Rovers. You'd have taken that, wouldn't you? Let's go through the scores then around the country. We'll start in Europe, though, first. And an Alexander Soloff hat-trick saw Atletico Madrid overcome Club Brugge in the Champions League knockout playoffs. 4-1 win on the night, a 7-4 win on aggregate there for Atletico Madrid. In the other games, these currently playing in the first half, coming towards the end of the first half, Bayer Leverkusen against Olympiacos is goalless, the German side leading 2-0 on aggregate. Inter Milan against Bodo Glimt, goalless as well. Bodo Glimt with an incredible 3-1 lead over Inter Milan on aggregate at the moment. Not so much really in the balance in the final Champions League knockout round match. Newcastle United against Karabag. Tonali and Joelinton scoring inside 6 minutes for the Magpies. It's now 8-1 on aggregate to Newcastle United against their Azerbaijani opponents. A little bit close to home, I suppose, in terms of leagues. And in the Championship, Blackburn Rovers trail Bristol City by 2-1. Hull City against Derby County, big match for the Rams if they want to get into the playoff places. 2-2 at half-time there. Middlesbrough against Leicester City. Middlesbrough have equalised on the stroke of half-time against the struggling Foxes, 1-1 there. Swansea City trail Preston North End by 1-0. Watford trail Ipswich by 1-0. West Bromwich Albion, how important could this be for their season? Really struggling at the moment. They lead Charlton Athletic by 1-0 on the stroke of half-time. Wrexham beating Portsmouth 2-0 as their playoff search continues, and Southampton leading QPR by 1-0. Interleague 1, a couple of scores to tell you about here, not a full run of fixtures. Bradford City lead Rotherham United by 1-0. The other games, Burton Albion against Stockport County goalless. Northampton against Port Vale. I can tell you Jaden Stockley has scored in the 8th minute of added time to put Vale Rochdale ahead in that one, still playing it in the first half. What that means for Lincoln City is it means that Bradford will join Bolton Wanderers on 58 points, Bradford having played the same amount of games as Lincoln City. So Bradford back in the driving seat to be the closest challengers to the Imps. League 2, goalless between Accrington Stanley and Barnet. Salford City leading strugglers Shrewsbury Town by 1-0 on the stroke of half-time. In the National League, half a load of fixtures to tell you about here. Forest Green Rovers 0, Boston United 3, as we've been bringing you commentary of on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Incredible scoreline. Halifax Town 0, Rochdale 1, Scunthorpe United 0, York City 2, so it's as you were at the top of the table. Abdul Malik has put Boreham Wood 1-0 up against Southend United. Tamworth, after that goalless draw with the Pilgrims at the weekend, now 1-0 up against Altrincham, and Wealdstone 1-0 up against 10-man Brackley Town. You're all up to date on BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
The Forgotten Past.
I think it was possibly the only time in history that Hendrix was heckled here in Spalding.
The Legends.
Can you see high up there?
Oh, yes.
His face, the features are not like Lincoln's imp.
The People.
Anne was found guilty of heresy. She hadn't repented of her opinions. Do you think she was afraid? Not a bit of it.
And the stories behind them.
This is an evocative site, and we know some extraordinary things happened here. You know, if you believe in ghosts, it's hard to imagine this place wouldn't have them.
Secret Lincolnshire. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
I should tell you, there is one other game I should tell you about in the EFL Trophy quarter-finals. Luton Town against Plymouth Argyle. That match is 1-1. Now, let's turn our attention back to the Winter Olympics. It has drawn to a close, but what an incredible story. What an incredible time it's been. And let's turn our attention to the curling. Now, of course, all the Olympians have arrived home. One of the highlights was the curling, with the men's team winning silver, even though they'd been determined to get gold after silver last time out. Well, two members of Britain's rink, cousins Hammy McMillan and Grant Hardle, have been speaking to our reporter Deth Lloyd today, and she started by asking them if they got over their disappointment of missing out on being crowned champions.
Yeah, I think the way the week went, if you'd said to us that we were going to walk away with a silver medal after we had a 5-4 record and hoping that Switzerland did the job for us to get us to qualify, I think we would be pretty happy. But when you get that chance to get to the semi-finals, get to the final, then ultimately for us, our goal was the gold. And we obviously are still disappointed, but to see how happy everybody is back home and the attention we've got and the media attention, and just, I think, 5.5 million people watched us, I think, on the Saturday night, which is crazy.
It is ridiculous, isn't it, Grant? I mean, curling, I think every 4 years always takes over Great Britain, and I was certainly watching. Millions of others as well were gripped. Did you get a sense of that out in Italy?
Yeah, we really did. You know, we spend a lot of time in Canada competing during the year, where it's obviously a huge sport and you get massive kind of spotlight over there and it's on kind of mainstream TV. But then, you know, for us, you get the Olympics every 4 year, where in the UK it's massive, and, you know, we felt the support from home. I think after the semis, you had so many messages, and then obviously Scotland were playing Wales at the rugby on the Saturday, but then 5.5 million people watching it afterwards is just crazy for us to think that many people watched and cheered us on, and then felt the love after it, especially after the disappointment.
Absolutely. I mean, Hammy, I know gold was the aim. Bruce Mowat, all of you had spoken since Beijing 4 years ago and come in agonisingly close, winning the silver 4 years ago, that gold was the aim this time around. Did it hurt a little bit more this time that you didn't quite get the gold?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's some really ugly photos of me standing on that podium with tears. There's a really good photo of Kyle putting his arm around me. The emotion was like 100% raw. Struggled to keep it together on that podium, because curling is that sport where, you know, you're guaranteed the silver medal after the semi-final. So you've got one match, one gold medal match, and you'll lose it. You lose your last match of the tournament. So you always feel like you lose the gold rather than actually, at the moment, win the silver.
And you guys are still young, but obviously the Olympics, you are, but the Olympics, I know you're early 30s, but the Olympics obviously comes around every 4 years. The next obvious question will be, will you stick together as a rink and go again in the French Alps, Hammy, in 4 years' time? Or is it too early to even comprehend?
Probably a little bit too early to say, but no, I think all of us, we have such love and admiration for curling and for each other. You know what I mean? I think, me and Grant are the two oldest in the team at 33 right now, so we'd be 37, which, in terms of being a sports person, is quite old, but for curling, maybe not. The guys who unfortunately beat us there in the final were all, apart from one, were in their 40s. So, we could easily do it at the age of 37, but, elite sport is getting younger. But I'm not going to say no. I think I'd love to be there again in 2030 and not to try and get that one medal we don't have.
It's about taking time to reflect. Grant, I love the story between the team as well. Tell me your family connection and the fact that your grandfather, it all stemmed from your grandfather many years ago, 60 odd years ago, didn't it? He had a curling rink built into a hotel that he owned.
Yeah, myself and Hammy are very fortunate. We're kind of born into the game, really. Hammy's dad and my mum are brother and sister, and our grandfather built an ice rink, so they played from a young age, and we had no choice but to start when we were kind of 6 or 7 and fell in love then. And even I think when we lost in Beijing, it was a COVID game, so we had no family there, so that was kind of the big driver to get back to second games and having all our friends and family there. I think there was over 100 of them there probably in the end, and a couple that flew out into Saturday morning just for the final, which was nice as well. To have them all there, enjoy that moment with us, kind of make a pretty special atmosphere, was kind of why we did it.
That's terrific. I know Grant mentioned earlier on about how many millions of viewers were watching at home, and of course the final on Saturday was sort of coinciding with the Six Nations game between Wales and Scotland. We won't mention Wales' performance obviously, but Scotland obviously coming back to win, and Gregor Townsend I believe has been in touch. This is how much of an impact curling has made.
Yeah, I think Bruce works with a same sports psychologist, I think, as some of the guys maybe, or somebody at SRU, so she managed to get Gregor Townsend to send us a good luck message, which was really, really cool. And then post the game, we got sent a photograph of the whole Scottish team sitting in the changing room around their TV watching our final. Even now, gives me a little bit of goosebumps thinking about that. The guys were all literally just beat Wales, sorry to mention it, but sat in there afterwards, crowded around the TV to watch our final.
It was a lot of fun, wasn't it? The Winter Olympics. Reminder, second half commentary of Boston United on the way very soon.
Richard Stead.
The North wants the Olympics.
What, the north of England?
And I was just wondering if any of Lincolnshire would be in this Olympic bid if it was.
Well, it's not easy, is it? Where does the north start and end?
Not easy at all, no.
Let me have a look. Oh, here we are. Roughly from Skegness or Boston all the way up to the Scottish borders. Much of Lincolnshire would be in the north of England if the Met Office map has anything to go by.
Right, well, that's the best definitive answer I think we've ever had on that question.
Richard Stead.
Weekday afternoons from 2.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
So as it stands, in the National League, Boston United would be up to 10th. Who'd have thought that just a matter of days ago, when the Pilgrims on the verge of the relegation zone. 43 points, you'd imagine just a couple more wins and to the 50-point mark, and that would be more than enough for Boston United to confirm their spot in the National League next season. Of course, plenty of football still to go. No game for Boston United this weekend. That match moved as a result of Woking's progression in the trophy, and Boston United will be back on Tuesday. Second half commentary then on the way for Boston United. It was only a couple of weeks ago they were on the verge of the relegation zone. Time to hand over to Michael Horton and a shocked Dale story.
Welcome back to the new lawn, where Boston United are leading Forest Green by 3-0. The two teams have just come out as the Boston United management team make their way over across the pitch to the dugout. Boston United leading through goals from Maguire, Grimes and Curzons. Just remind you, just have a quick look. I don't think there's any changes being made at half time, so just a quick reminder of that Boston United team. Two changes with Lovett Lovett and Sloggett coming in for Wogan and Abo. So it's Lovett in goal, back four of Teal, Rooney, Grimes and Carson. Midfield three of Richards, Gallagher and Sloggett, with Maguire and Hawula supporting Curzons in attack. And Forest Green, I won't go through their team, but it looks like they're going to make three changes. We'll do that in a second. Just tell you the Boston United bench: Ben Griss, Kieran Donnelly, Alex Lancashire, Arjun Reiki, Kennebo, Marcel Lavinier, and new signing Liam McCarron. If you're just joining us, he was announced signed today. Left-sided player, free agent, most recently at Northampton. So the changes for Forest Green then. So here we go. We've got Christian Deutsch is going off to be replaced by Tom Knowles. He's the first change. Deutsch going off is a bit of a surprise. He seemed to be their main threat in the first half. Michael, we'll just see.
I think 3-0 down, you have to change things.
Of course you do. And one of my favourite players in the non-league, Nick Horton, is coming on for the number 25, Gabe Kirchhoff. So he's the second change. Horton, I remember him scoring a hat-trick against Boston in the FA Cup back in 2017. A very good player at this level, a really good time at Fylde. He was there for years, actually. So he comes on as well. And then the third change is Askar Ahmed, to replace by Elijah Morrison. So three changes. I mean, it just shows Michael Horton, who's alongside myself, Dale Story, for commentary of this second half. It just shows, obviously, Forest Green have got to go for it.
There's four changes in total, isn't there? They already made one in the first, and he's only got one left up his sleeve, and he's shaking his head, Robbie Savage. I'm sure he's had a lot to say. I think in some ways he's probably tried to not say too much, because in the end, not sure what else. You can do more damage, can't you, at the moment, because they're frankly looking well short.
Boston United took the kick off, and Forest Green have actually won it by now. Horton trying to get involved early on here. Now it's with Knowles. Both of them have 5 goals to the name this season. Plays the ball in, and Forest Green, for a second they looked like they were going to be through, and Lovett does really well to come out and smother at the feet, and he's still 3-0.
Yeah, he did really well, didn't he? Came very quickly out, dived in low at the attacking player's feet, and gathered the ball in, has kept it at 3-0.
And long ball forward that is cleared away. Richards wins the header, heads it forward for Boston United, but there's no one there, and in the end Forest Green try and bring it forward, and it's gone out for a throw in to them. Boston United defending in front of the travelling supporters have been very vocal in the first half. Tremendous support as always for Paul Hurst's side, who lead by 3-0. Long ball forward from Forest Green. Rooney heads away for Boston, but it is picked up by the number 17 Morrison, one of the 3 changes that were made at half-time by Robbie Savage. Clearly not happy, as he's now sat on one of the advertising boards as the home side come forward. They'll feel they need to get an early goal. Boston United 3 up, and they've kept 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games, the Pilgrims, so they'll also be feeling confident at the back. McAllister now for Forest Green, and already for start of this second half, you're seeing them pass it around a little bit more. They went along a lot in that first half, as McAllister now goes past Richards and plays that to Horton on the right hand side up against Matty Carson. Back to McAllister, and there's space now for Knowles. Low ball into the air, it's really well blocked by Carson, and Jordi Hawula is going to bring this ball away now for Boston United. He's got Curzons ahead of him, but he just holds the play up and gives it to Maguire. Back to Matty Carson, thought about going back to his goalkeeper, but still has the ball. The Boston United left back plays the ball down the line towards Maguire. It's a good ball. Maguire, great touch on that left hand side, looking to make himself space to deliver across. Maguire going down towards the byline. He is dispossessed, and Forest Green clear, but Boston United will have a throw in halfway inside the Forest Green half.
Yeah, it dragged Bunker wide, the first half substitute. He really didn't want to be down by the corner flag defending, and Boston picking up a throw in line with edge of the penalty area,
which Carson will take. He got Hawula and Maguire short, and Sloggett, and that's where the ball goes. Inside now to Maguire, plays it to Curzons on the edge of the area, back to goal. He got 2 players with him, and eventually Forest Green bring this ball away, but Curzons battling to try and win this ball back for Boston and gives away a foul.
Good hard work from Curzons, making it difficult for Forest Green, but they as a home side, really, the onus is all on them, isn't it? 3-0 down, fans booing them at half-time. They've got to go out and try and prove a point, and I think Boston United can try and do them on the break.
But it's there that are coming forward now with Boyabu. He's certainly been a threat over on that left-hand side up against Teal. Still got the ball. He's quite sure what to do with it. And then they make a bit of space now, Forest Green, as they look to try and get the ball into the penalty area, and they do, but it's cleared away by Richards. Read that well, Jordan Richards, and clears. We expect Forest Green to put a bit of pressure on. No, it's very quiet here, though, at the New Lawn. As the Forest Green fans, I think they're just desperate for something to cheer about. Can Knowles provide it on the right-hand side up against Geordie Hawula? Makes himself some space and looks to cross, but Hawula went with him and concedes to throw in.
Yeah, Boston United just need to keep their shape. You would expect after a flea in the air from the manager that Forest Green would come out and try and make it difficult for the Pilgrims, but for me, every time Forest Green, like now, they're getting lots of players forward. Well, Boston United got a great chance. Exactly right here from Paul Hurst, getting Frankie Maguire to come up towards the halfway line to drag a couple of players away.
Knowles, who's come on, has got a long throw, and it's he who lofts that ball into the area, and it's, well,
rubbish.
Bunker got his head to the ball, but it goes out near the corner flag. Then it does love its goal.
No, I like that from Paul Hurst. We do see a lot these days when everyone brings all their players back for defending, but I think just by pushing Frankie Maguire up towards the centre circle, it dragged two Forest Green players away from the Boston United penalty area.
And he's a good one to leave up, isn't he, Maguire?
He can hold it.
Makes sense for Curzons to come back because of his height. As Lovett goes long, Sloggett wins the flick on in the centre circle, finds Hawula. Maguire had three around him and is dispossessed, and Bunker plays the ball back. Now there's a long ball forward towards McAllister, who's, well, it's clearly offside as he just dinks the ball over Lovett and it hits the top of the bar.
Now Lovett needs to be careful. He's going to go and get the ball, but he just has to remember he's on a yellow.
I think he thought about maybe wandering and then realising, hang on a sec.
Yeah.
I'm on a...
Yeah, leave it for the outfield player to take some time. It's going to be Grimes. I think he's stolen another couple of metres and the assistant's given up.
Grimes, one of the goal scorers today. Boston United 3 up at half-time. It's he who goes long. Header was won over on the far side, and now Hawula's battling to try and win this for Boston United, but it's cleared away. It was Teal that won the original header, and now Forest Green are coming forward, and Knowles, who's looked lively since coming on, gets past Sloggett and plays it out to the left-hand side. Boyabu's there, up against Teal again. It's been a fascinating battle in this match. Boyabu comes inside for playing it onto the edge of the area. It'll be a cross into the area that's headed away by Carson. It's good defended. It was a good ball from Nwoko, and Carson just cushions that out for a corner.
I think there's a little bit of words going on between the two benches. I saw Robbie Savage pointing at somebody sat on the Boston bench, and I wouldn't want to repeat what looked like the words between the two benches.
As they're getting ready, their fifth sub.
Yeah.
Forest Green, they want it before the corner. They're not going to get it. It's Forest Green take it. It's the first one they've actually managed to get in the air, but he's headed away by Rooney for a throw-in over on the far side, and it'll be a throw-in.
I think you could say that was the best of the three corners, but it wasn't a very high bar.
As it'll be a throw in Knowles. So Tom Knowles, he's got a long throw on him. It's certainly a threat they're going to use as their final sub then, as Tate Campbell is going to replace by Jaden Clark. So three of the players they've brought on, Forest Green, have all got 5 goals to their name this season. They all know how to put the ball in the net. So it's their attacking subs. Jaden Clark will make his way into the penalty area for this Knowles throw. I'm sure Paul Hurst and Chris Deutsch can hold their own. There is trouble on that touchline.
Paul Hurst wasn't involved in it, I can say.
Knowles with the throw in, it's headed up but not very far away. Boston struggling to clear, and Hawula, then he heads it kind of back towards his own goal. Grimes then gets a head onto it. It's still with the home side. Now Jaden Clark's first touch for him. McAllister does a 360 turn, makes himself a bit of space, plays it out to the left-hand side now. Boston have got some defenders new. Boyabu's out on the left now, up against Carson, comes into the area. Carson does really well to win that and boosts it clear as Michael Horton claps, and Curzons is going to try and control this on the halfway line. Draws the foul. That's brilliant forward play from Tom Curzons. Boston have a free kick.
So good.
It's another side of his game. He does so well.
Well,
Curzons.
number one, the defending. To win the ball back, to clear it downfield, and then what you want is your big striker to have it on the halfway line, win a foul so everyone can get downfield, and they did it. Perfect. Nearly stabbed myself applauding though. Shouldn't hold a pen when you applaud.
Carson with this kick towards Curzons. It's headed away though, and Forest Green will start again. And Boyabu has it. He's inside his own half though, up against Teal, and Boston United keeping the shape. There's actually a bit of space over on this Knowles has got a lot of space on the left as McAllister tries to get it out there with a flick on, but cross goes Carson and smacks it against Knowles in the face. And fair play to Knowles.
Yeah.
I think it's his hand. Yeah, just there.
The giveaway is his.
I thought it hit him in the face before.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's handball then, surely. But, Tom Knowles. Anyway, it'll be a throw in for Carson to take down the line. He goes over the head of Kersons and Knowles picks him again. He's seen another ball. Tom Knowles at the start of this second half, but Carson just boots it clear. But Kersons isn't there because he's had to come back and help out. And so the goalkeeper, instead, plenty of time to lay it off to Bunker. Robbie Savage just stood there with his arms folded. Paul Hurst doing the same. I'm sure one's a lot happier than the other. Ball down the line from Knowles is intercepted well by Carson. Plays the ball down to Hawula. That's a really good touch inside to slog it now, bringing the ball forward. The Boston United midfielder and looks for the run of Maguire. He was just under pressure as he played the ball and it didn't reach Maguire. But Boston looking to win it in midfield through Gallagher, but Forest Green will start again. And it is 3-0 to Boston United here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. No game for Boston on Saturday. They're back next Tuesday at home to Woking. And they look to go into that one 7 unbeaten, and they'll be going inside the top 10 tonight as things stand. It's a great ball out to the right hand side now where Knowles has got a bit of space up against Carson, who's gone out there. Knowles running towards the penalty, tries to get on his left foot, prods it in, but Boston clear. It's Sloggett that gets the ball away and Kersons comes across to try and win it back. Then Maguire just boosts that one, but it was a sliced one and it allows Morrison to pick it up. And out to Boyebill on that left-hand side. But the pass is overhit and Boston have a throw-in. As Gainsborough Trinity have taken the lead. Cesar Tontoana with the goal in the 52nd minute. So Gainsborough 1, Leek 0. And Burton Albion are 2-0 up against Stockport.
Wow.
In League 1.
That is some scoreline. Burton have a habit of getting some good results. They caused Lincoln some problems a few weeks ago at the LNI, arguably more than some of the teams that are higher up. So... yeah, Stockport could have gone within 9, or could still, in theory, go within 9 of Lincoln in the in League One race.
So I was quite impressed with Burton Albion that night at Lincoln.
I agree.
Thought they played well.
They probably feel they should have got more out of the game.
Yeah. I don't know.
There was a controversial decision, was there, in the game? I think, if I remember rightly, they weren't happy with something in the game. Nobody's ever happy, are they?
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Well, somebody who's not happy is stood about 20 metres to your left.
Yes, and that's Robbie Savage, but he's started coming forward again. Knowles with the cross, headed away by Rooney.
He's a good player.
And Boston have picked that up through Gallagher in midfield and plays the ball to Curzons on the right-hand side. Can he get there first, Tom Curzons? Yes, he can, and then he's adjudged to have fouled the defender.
The pass
that looks
Gallagher,
soft.
Great pass.
Curzons, another part of his game is that he'll happily try and take players on with situations like that. His second goal at Scunthorpe, that's exactly it. Sorry, his third goal at Scunthorpe. That's exactly what he did. Such a confident striker. And
great signing.
And Gallagher, the pass, really good.
Yeah,
one of his better games in midfield. Oshin Gallagher this evening, 57 minutes played. Boston United are leading 3-0 here at Forest Green. Knowles for the Green Army as they look to try and find a way back into this. Yet to really create a clear-cut chance as the ball is switched to the other side of the pitch, and then Teal won the ball back, draws the foul, and that'll be a yellow card. Forest Green's first one of the game, and I can't quite see who it is.
But they've changed so many, Dale. I mean,
it's true.
I tell you, I wanted to mention Sloggett. He's worked really hard tonight, and some players, when they lose captaincy, they can visibly sulk on a pitch, and there's been anything but. I mean, look, I've spoken to Greg a few times, and in a way, I'm not surprised. He's never come across that sort of player, but he's been absolutely hard-working. In the midfield three with Richards and Gallagher have done well.
He's shown when he's come off the bench, I think it's the last 3 games. No, it's the last 2. He's shown that he's really wanted to get back into that team. You know, when you come off and just really go for it. And he's played well again tonight as Maguire has it for Boston United, just toe pokes it out to the right hand side where Oshin Gallagher is looking to take on his man but winning a free kick. Just chipped it to try and get past his man, wins the free kick. I still don't know who got booked.
But also what was really good there was Curzons winning the ball, playing it into Maguire, then getting out to Gallagher, and the link-up play at times from Boston has been really good, and it'll be interesting to see when Paul decides to make some changes, because he's seen a lot of good pattern of play from Boston, and of course the 3-0 lead.
It's handy Boston have got a week off from playing So
Woking next Tuesday, yeah.
Woking next Tuesday. Then they go to Rochdale following Saturday. Both games to watch you live by BBC Radio Lincolnshire. But
that's some day for us on Radio Lincolnshire.
That is going to be
Lincoln or at Cardiff.
That is going to be hopefully one of those days we talk about for a long time. Anyway, Boston on this terrific Tuesday. See what I did there? Have a free kick. Carson's going to take it. Lays it back to Maguire. It's a different angle, but he does chip that ball into the penalty area. It's headed back across from Grimes, across the 6-yard box. Forest Green clear, but it hasn't gone very far. Sloggett can't win that one. And then he makes sure he fouls his man as he falls over.
That was funny. I thought it was a really nice work move, wasn't it? Slightly different, playing it back to the edge of the area, and then they positioned Grimes sort of bottom back post and to try and win the head, which he did, but didn't come to anything.
Now it's Knowles for Forest Green. We've had an hour here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Horton for the home side switches the ball over to the left hand side. Taylor's got some defenders to up against Boyaboo. Looks to go for the 1-2 but then didn't run. I think that went for the 1-2 in Morrison, then didn't run.
That was atrocious.
I think that sums up Forest Green's evening.
So far, yeah.
So
long way to go though. You never know in football.
Still half an hour. We've seen stranger things. And game management and seeing games out is something that Boston have certainly improved on under Paul Hurst. You take the Southend game out of the equation. Once they get the lead, it looks solid. The Southend game was a penalty and a mistake, so plenty of positives from Boston United, and they'll be confident that they can see this one out too, with half an hour to go. Teal with a throw in for the Pilgrims. Down the line towards Curzons. It goes over his head and headed away. Teal will have a second go, heading it forward. Curzons again goes over his head. Maguire now battling to win it in midfield for Boston United. He's looking for the run of Carson's on the left, and that's where the ball goes. Carson plays the ball low into the area, but it'll be Bunker who read that quite well and will clear. And Forest Green will start again. Knowles with the ball. It's a long ball forward, and love it. Off his line quickly, gathers out on the edge of the area.
That was really good goalkeeping once again. It could have easily been a bad moment, but he came out right to the side of the penalty area, gathered it in. If he was a second later, could have been in trouble. And Jamie Grimes for once had been done for pace, and he was looking for his keeper, and his keeper was there.
As Maguire fouls McAllister right in front of us. Free kick, and McAllister plays it back to Jaden Clark. One of 5 changes that Robbie Savage has made during the game. He made 3 at half time, 1 3 minutes into the second half, and then his first one, actually, I should have started with that, was after half an hour.
I mean, 50 minutes he'd made 5 changes?
Yep. And it's with that one of those 5, Jaden Clark now.
Hey, if they make some amazing comeback, he's right, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Long way to go in a game. I'm always cautious on these things. I'm just naturally that way.
Well, anyway, it's Forest Green coming forward. It's a ball forward that's again overhit, and Lovett. There'll be no rush to pick this ball up. It's at his feet.
He hasn't had a lot to do tonight, Lovett. When you think they would know that he's coming, and they'll know about his form because that's what they're supposed to do. Their research on Boston United, and yet they haven't so far made it a difficult night. He had that one ball in the box where he had to punch it clear, and I think he was fouled, wasn't he? But he did really well in that moment. Otherwise, hasn't had a huge amount to do, and they've just picked up a really cheap offside.
I think he's looked confident though,
yeah,
which is nice to see.
But is that from having 2 good centre halves in front of you?
Maybe.
Dominant centre halves. I mean, they're winning most that's coming at them, aren't they, Rooney and Grimes?
Certainly are. As Boston United have a free kick for an offside. Rooney goes long towards Curzons, who wins the flick onto Maguire. Now takes a touch. He's into the area. Maguire, the defender, just as enough as he came across there. Maguire was ready to shoot, and the defender did well. And then there's a ball forward for Grimes to deal with. He's got Rooney across, or Lovett, and he just takes his time before actually using Sloggett in the left-back area. Back to the captain, Jamie Grimes. Another solid display from him today. Long ball forward towards Curzons to chase, but that'll go through to Eiston in the goal for Forest Green. It's a long throw from him out to Morrison on the left-hand side. Plays it infield to Nwoko. He comes forward. Boston United looking to win it in midfield, but it's now with the number 45, Ricardo Rees. And they're coming forward down the left, but again, it's another overhit pass. How many times have we seen that now as Burton Albion have added a third against Stockport in League One? How many times have we seen that? As
poor. I mean,
Robbie
it's poor, isn't it? Once again, inevitably because of his profile, you look down at Robbie Savage and his head in his hands, and it's just been a succession of poor pieces of play from them. But that shouldn't detract from the fact that that's been forced on them by an excellent performance from Boston United.
In the first half, we saw a really good attacking display from Boston, and today we talk about game management and how to deal with games, and we're seeing that in this second half.
I do like Frankie Maguire as a player. When he's on it, he really links up the play beautifully.
He was certainly one that they've missed in the first part of the season when he was injured. It's he who plays it back to Grimes. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Love It. Slightly heavy touch, but he recovers well and plays it long towards Curzons. Can't win it in the air. Slog it though, picks it up for Boston United. Now with Gallagher, chips that ball to Hawula, lays it off to Maguire. It's a good ball out to the left hand side now. Carson, it's his cross into the area, and it's just in front of Curzons, who just couldn't quite get there, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Best move of the second half, I think, for Boston United. He moved it really well. And once again, Maguire at the heart of it and just couldn't quite get the final touch.
It's Forest Green that are starting again. Midfield, it's certainly a very flat atmosphere, isn't it? Which will suit Boston, the visiting side that are leading by 3 goals to 0. They've got some defending to do here. Crossing, headed away by Rooney, and then the clearance
has gone for a warm-up.
Completed by Carson. Who has, sorry?
Kennebo.
Oh, what a sub to be able to bring on. A bow.
There's a couple have gone up as well. In fact, there's quite a few up there now. But he was specifically pointed at by Chris Doidge.
Oh, what a threat he would be, but Boston have got a long throw to defend. We'll go through the rest of those Boston United subs in a second here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. But Knowles, I think one of the reasons he's come is for these long throws towards the penalty area. Boston get a head onto it, then there's a header towards goal that's gathered in very well by Rhys Lewis. So those Boston subs: Ben Grist, Kieran Donnelly, Alex Lancashire, Arjun Reiki, Kennebo, Marcel Lavenir, new signing Liam McCarron.
I mean, the only thing you'd say, and McCarron apparently has got good pace as well. I can't think that I've seen him play, but both him and Abo, those sorts of players coming on when Forest Green are pushing forward, might well be able to get in behind.
Boston United looking to battle and win it in midfield, but it's Forest Green that have won it back, and it's they that are coming forward down the Boston United right. But they're trying, Forest Green. They're having a go without really creating anything. And there's Maguire for a second there. I thought he was going to win it back, but Knowles has it on the Forest Green right, pulls it back to Jaden Clark, and they'll start again, this time with Boyabu down the left, crossed in the area, cleared away by Rooney, and then Hawula just flicks it on, clears it away, and won't quite reach Curzons, and they'll start again. Forest Green, but Boston have still got that threat on the counter, and Forest Green need to be wary of that. Boyabu has it as down the left hand side up against Teal. Connor Teal's been outstanding this evening, and there's proof of that as he stops the cross and it goes out for a goal kick.
It's been really good. I mean, it's the best I've seen from Boston United in quite a time. Obviously, I don't see a huge number of games. I probably see 5 to 10 a season, maybe about 10 a season. And I think as an all-round away performance, this is right up there. I mean, I was saying to you before, I did a game with Christian last season away at Yeovil. Very different pitch, very bad pitch, very different sort of game. And it was a great result, important result for Boston in that fight to stay in the National League. But for me, this is a performance at a different level to that.
Well, it certainly is, and I suppose the standard
so
of opposition.
Far.
Yes, yeah.
Just want to get that one in.
Grimes clears for Boston United. It's a slice clearance, but again, Boston United defensively again have been really good. Rooney's got a bit of defending to do here up against Lees. Just calmly turns and clears it long towards Curzons, who flicks it on. As Boston United look to try and create something up front, and it was. I think we're going to see the new man in a few minutes. Michael,
that's a perfect moment, isn't it, for him to come on.
Knowles has it for Forest Green up against Sloggett. And Sloggett did well. He's another player that's played really well. It'll be very interesting when we try and pick a player of the match later for Boston United as Maguire tries to win this ball back, but it's with Knowles down the right-hand side. And he is offside, and Boston United lead 3-0.
They do lead 3-0, and we're coming up to 22 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And it was a very explosive first half from Boston United to get their goals. And now it's been a very composed second half. And Well, it'll be very interesting to see McCarran come on. McCarran come on is number 45. I wonder about Frankie possibly, because they took Christophe Century playing him as a 10, didn't they? Potentially or left
10
side.
left.
Be interesting to see where he comes on. Not quite come on quite yet.
I think it's going to be Geordie Hawula.
Okay. Or is that because you've just seen the number hanging down by the fourth official?
Do you mean I've not got these good good predictions?
I thought, wow, that's really good. And I saw the number by.
You could have made me sound good there, couldn't you? You could have...
really good call down.
Thank you very much.
Forest Green in possession, looking to come forward over the halfway line. Boston United back in their shape, 4-3-3. Not winning the first challenge, but they win the second. Richards getting back, just holds on to it a little bit too long, but they get it to Gallagher, and then it's now, it's not the greatest of passes from Carson. Forest Green have it, but Boston with plenty of players back. The first challenge looked like a foul. The referee didn't think so, and now Boston United fly forward, and it's Frankie Maguire cuts inside. The ball is taken off him, and I have to say I thought that was a foul that time. But
yeah, I think
the assistant and the referee
I've got a point. Forest Green probably sums up how they feel their evening is going.
Yep. Forest Green coming forward, and Oshin Gallagher trying to block off their forward momentum. Gallagher getting a good challenge in there. Boston United chasing back in with Curzons, goes back to the keeper. Forest Green, it's all on them to find a way back into this game, getting towards 20 minutes to go in this game. McCarran stays on the sidelines.
Looking forward to seeing him. Really looking forward to it. And think Maguire will probably go across to the right, and he'll also be able, because he's defensive as well, to double up with Carson's and the threat of Knowles down the Boston United left.
Well, as we've seen, Paul Hurst seems to be something of an alchemist in what we've seen with Hawula, getting more out of him than perhaps we've seen before, and maybe for McCarran he can be somebody who can help him restart his career. But as we've said, it's going to be a corner, so I can't see him. You never see that really. I think I saw one international where it happened recently. That was the only time. So it's going to be a chance. It's going to be Horton, Dale's favourite non-league player, is going to take this.
I think it's his name.
Ah, well, there you go. Different spelling.
Doesn't matter, it sounds the same.
Corner from the left-hand side, right-footed into the Pilgrims. Penalty heading goal, was it off the line? And then smashed in. Forest Green have got one back.
Bunker. He's the man, the big centre-half that's come on. First real time they've got the ball in the box and knocked out with it, Boston United, and it's a disappointing goal. It's just given them that lifeline, hasn't it, with 19 minutes to go. No real chance for the goalkeeper. Crowded 6-yard box, and Bunker just gets his long leg there before Boston had a chance to clear. 3-1.
Well, it's never over till it's over. Hawula coming off, and McCarran's going to replace him. The Forest Green Rovers will feel they've got a little toe hold into the game.
I just never saw them scoring,
no.
Michael. I never felt they were going to score, and I think Boston will be, how good they've been defensively, very disappointed with that one.
Grimes goes long for Boston United, deep into the Forest Green half. And they're going to look to play out from the back. Boston United try to win it back again. And they have possession inside the Forest Green half. It's coming back at Boston again. Frankie Maguire can't quite get onto it. And it's brought down by Rooney. And he stays in play. And he's won a throw, has he? No, it's gone out for a Forest Green throw on the opposite side of the ground. The large piece of terracing opposite us, well, large, probably about 500, 600 spaces, and the small seating area raised is all empty. Just three sides of the ground in use as forward come Forest Green. That was good from Sloggett to block off the forward momentum. Forest Green playing it through the middle. Richards gets a challenge in, but Forest Green have got themselves some space. Now Boston trying to win it back, and that's an important challenge from Gallagher. And then a long ball downfield, one for Curzons to chase. The defender doesn't do well. Curzons goes round the keeper, and the ball gets away from him, goes behind. What a moment. Goal kick.
It's his touch, isn't it? It's just too heavy going around the keeper.
Well, the keeper knew he was wrong-footed, and so any touch that was the right touch, he just got away from him.
That's a great chance. That is a great chance.
But there'll be more of that because they're going to force themselves forward.
Definitely. But Curzon's, you expect him to do better.
Holding on to it, getting it back to Grimes. Grimes playing it. Oh, and Gallagher got caught waiting for the ball a little bit. But Boston win it back. Carson playing it through the middle. And here comes the new signing. Flying forward. He's got a bit of pace about him. He's forced off the ball, though. That is good defending against McCarron, but he definitely has a bit of pace.
Yeah, that's good. I like the look of that. And it was good defending, to be fair.
Rooney with the header clear. Forest Green will pick it up. There's a handball. Referee doesn't think so. Boston United carry on. There's a poor ball forward, and Chris Doidge stomps back to his bench and sits down.
They're giving possession away a little bit too easily at the moment.
Yeah,
Boston.
I agree with that. Well, there's a late challenge there in the box. I think it's on Rooney, isn't it?
Well, that's a yellow card.
It's got to be a yellow card. I'm not sure he's given it, though.
No, I don't think he has. I hope Rooney's okay. Definitely, but Boston, as Curzon's is also sat down at the moment, Michael. I think Boston, when they're getting the ball, it's just a little bit hurried, isn't it, this second half? They're giving it away a little bit too easily. So hopefully...
I think Kieran Donnelly might be coming on.
I think that will be Maguire, and I've not seen a board. Or it could be Curzon's himself. No. He's the one that's sat at the moment.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And he's the...
Rooney's
okay.
Jewel, isn't he? Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be Curzon's.
Yeah.
I hope this is precautionary.
Well, physio going on to see him. He's been in a rich vein of form.
I mean, to get a new striker and he scores 6 in his first 6 games.
Yeah.
You don't get that very often, do you? It's fantastic. And he could have had a couple more tonight. The bounce of the ball and maybe a better first touch, but I'm not going to criticise. He's been outstanding. And Donnelly, what he'll offer up there, he's got a lot of energy. He's hard to deal with when you've got tiring legs in particular for the Forest Green defenders. I think it's important Boston maintain a threat up front. They're not one of these that go deep because they've still looked to threat in this second half. I think Gallagher bursting forward has looked really good.
He's been a good runner from midfield actually tonight.
It's probably the best I think from what I've seen that he's played in midfield tonight, Gallagher. I think his performances at centre half were really good. But it's going to be Curzon's.
Well, the good thing is he is back on his feet. It looks a bit sort of like his right knee, his right leg. He's walking a little awkwardly.
And again, I mean, I'm running out of things to say about Tom Curzon.
Well, have a go.
He's thank you. He's just been really good, hasn't he? His goal, like we've said, we knew he was going to score. He's so confident. It was a great finish, but he's been a handful. Again, the defenders, it's no easy ride for them. And this isn't a bad substitute at 3-1 up to have Donnelly with his pace and his energy, and we just hope Curzon's is okay. I'm sure he will be.
I don't think. Fingers crossed I'm right with this, but he doesn't strike me as a player that's got a serious knock.
Maybe precautionary.
Yeah, and also maybe run himself a little bit into the ground. I think Rooney also getting a bit of treatment. He's got one in the nose, I think.
He'll be fine. I'm sure he's been absolutely fantastic tonight. But
I don't know if he's going to need some dental work because of the way they were looking at his face. Lifting up his gum.
We'll find out as Gallagher's just slotted into that back four, hasn't he?
Rooney strikes me as one of those who'll come straight back on.
Definitely.
What I've seen of him. Chris Doidge coming across to talk to him. Fourth official's being a bit busy.
Most of his game's been with the Forest Green manager, hasn't it?
He's probably having a break because Boston get it back on the edge of the Forest Green area. Rooney back on, Boston United back to 11. Boston trying to win a corner, can't do so. We got 12 minutes to go.
That's what Donnelly does, though. He just picked the ball up from nowhere there off the defender. So he'll be a threat. It's a different kind of threat.
Boston United being stretched here down the left-hand side of their defence. The referee jumps over the ball as Forest Green fire it across. Long-range shot is blocked by a Boston defender. I think it was Gallagher, and it's going to roll out on the halfway line. In fact, it's going to be retrieved before it goes out of play. And Forest Green have it. Good following from Lincolnshire tonight. I'd say 60, maybe 70 behind the goal. I'm sure there's a few more over to our right that we can't see in support, so maybe around 100 have made the trip. It's 3 hours from Lincoln, so I imagine 3.5 to 4 as that's good defending from Carson, but he's having to chase back here. Tired run from him. They've cleared it, Boston. The ball comes back in the box again. Then the shot comes in. Boston get a block on it. Now Boston looking to charge away. Oisin Gallagher's fouled. That's a free kick.
Yep. I think Knowles has been the best of the subs out of the 5 that has come on. I know Bunker scored, but I think he's been a threat down the right-hand side, and Carson's really had his work cut out. I know Sloggett's come and helped him out. Gallagher there, he's had a really good game tonight. Again, I think he knew he was going to be fouled, but look how much time they can just wind it down, take that little bit of momentum away from Forest Green.
So Lincoln United now 3-0 up at Blythe Town. Long way to go there. Wells scoring the third of the goals, the other 2 in the first half. Remind you, Trinity 1-0 up thanks to Tutunwala with great work from Mulhern. We'll have details from Dave Remden in a bit. Boston United 3-0 up. I'll take you through the goal scorers in a moment or two. It's a long ball downfield from the Pilgrims. They're looking to flick it on. Forest Green chasing in behind. Sloggett closing down the space, but Forest Green should clear here. Back towards the halfway line. Carson gets his head to the ball. Back into the Forest Green half, forcing them back towards their own goal. Good press from Boston United. McCarran involved, and then a cross comes. That's great from Gallagher. Really reads the play well, trying to play it inside for the attacking run, but couldn't find him. And that was good reading of the play from the on-loan player. Ball downfield, headed away by Grimes. Comes to Carson. Carson, that's great composure from him. Plays it inside, and Gallagher seeing a lot of the ball at the moment. Plays it for the run. That's a great ball across to the right-hand side for Teal. It's going to go back to Rooney. Boston building up a pass and a play again. Back out towards Teal on the right-hand side. Back inside again to Gallagher, getting plenty of touches at the moment. And all the way back to the keeper.
They're keeping the ball, Michael.
Absolutely. Kill the game. Don't let them get a head of steam up. And they've got it forward this time, though. Boston nearly got in behind, but Forest Green win it back. And we've got 10 minutes to go. Still 3-1 to Boston.
They're keeping the ball, and instead of just a couple of passes and then just getting rid of it, they're keeping possession. And, you know, if you've not got the ball, you're not going to score. I know that sounds silly, but that's what they're doing.
No, that's right.
They're stopping Forest Green having the ball, and if they're letting them have it, it's like where they are now with the centre halves.
Forward come Forest Green. One more goal really will make it a nervous last few minutes.
Yeah,
Boston
don't like
3-1 up here. No, don't need them, thank you very much. We had enough with the cricket earlier on. England making it a little tricky towards the end there, but was in the end a comfortable win. Here Boston United 3-1 up. Forest Green on the attack on the edge of the Pilgrims penalty area. That's great defending from Frankie Maguire. Maguire runs it out of play. It's going to be a throw.
It's not something we talk about often, the defensive side of Frankie Maguire, but he's very good at it.
Take you through the scorelines elsewhere in the National League and the Football League in a moment. Well, particularly League One, the Imps League. Some interesting scorelines there. Should mention Alan Long, the announcer at Lincoln City, is our studio guest tomorrow with Zoe. And we'll also have reaction to this result, whatever it is, for Boston United against Forest Green. They're 3-1 up at the moment. Forest Green cross into the Pilgrims penalty, blocked off, goes out of play.
Steele again.
He's had a good game so far.
He certainly has. Certainly has. I was telling you earlier that, you know, Taylor at right back, that word excelled again, but he really has, having to come in with the injury to Lavinier, and he's certainly keeping him out, and Lavinier has had a really good season. But Teal just looks solid at right back.
Forest Green with the possession on the halfway line. Boston United just keeping their shape. I don't know if it's intentional. It looks more like a 4-4-2 at times at the moment. I think it is, because even 5 actually. It's almost like there's a 5 across the midfield.
4-5-1.
Maguire's got across to the left-hand side. And Sloggett's come in, McCarran's tucked in a little bit more as Forest Green try to win a corner. They don't. That's really good defending, and the captain, Grimes, clears long, and it's a decent header from Donnelly. It goes out of play. It's going to be a throw.
I think, in the first half when Boston were a lot more offensive, it was clearly a 4-3-3 with Maguire and then Hawula supporting Kersons, but it's definitely 5 in midfield. They've dominated the whole game in midfield. And, you know, when you 3-1 up at a high-flying side with 7 minutes to go, there's
this is just... I didn't see this. Oh, and then the Boston player's just been shoved over, and I thought he was shoved in the face. Has the referee seen it? What's the referee's reading? I think he's just going to give yellow cards here, but I thought that was very close to a shove in the face on the Boston player. Did he catch who went down?
So they were annoyed they didn't get a free kick to start with Boston, and then it's Gallagher that's gone down holding his face. But
do you know something? It's wasting a minute.
Well, exactly. I think that's the best thing to take from it. I'll be honest, I didn't see it properly.
No, I didn't. Just reminding scores then. Boston United 3-1 up here. Maguire, Grimes and Curzon's. Bunker getting one in the second half for Forest Green. Elsewhere, Rochdale the leaders 1-0 up away at Halifax. York 3-0 up at Scunthorpe. Borehamwood 2-0 up at Southend. Tamworth leading Altrincham by 4 goals. Altrincham with 2 players sent off. And Wealdstone 2-1 up against Brackley. And in League One, Bradford, they've found some form again. 1-0 up at home against Rotherham. Burton beating Stockport by 3 goals to 0. And Northampton really struggling, but they must be struggling. They're losing to Port Vale, the bottom club, by 1 goal to 0. Boston with a long ball to the edge of the Forest Green area, looking for the flick on. Boston player goes down holding his head. Referee not interested. And then he's going to go back.
Well, he's got to, hasn't he? He's got to stop the game.
It's a head injury, isn't it?
The head injury. It's Carson that's down, and Boston are seeing. I think since Forest Green scored,
just break up the place.
Boston's game management has been a lot better. They're trying to keep the ball. It's frustrating for the home side. They call it game. They're doing it really well. So fair play to them. And as things stand, Boston United are going 10th, which is unbelievable, really. Unbelievable. It would put them 13 points from that bottom 4. Which, who'd have thought that?
I should say we have an internal little WhatsApp group for our Boston United commentary team. Mark Clifford said, look at the clock, what, about 15 minutes ago? Game management key here. Well, I think he was answered, wasn't he?
Must keep the ball for more than 3 passes.
And he's got it.
Mark knows what he's talking about. He'll be back with us this season. He's coming to Rochdale with me, actually, a week on Saturday.
Well, a bit of a cheat sheet of the Boston player for going down in Carson, but he won't care. And the 4th official is saying, you've got to stay with me. You're not allowed to run in.
Again, we're actually hearing the crowd, aren't we?
Great from McCarran's gone in at left back, wins the header to stop the attacking. Now, we're well over 30 seconds, but the referee has decided for the bit of extra time. Forest Green are trying to make the most of it. Well, the referee's forgotten. So the ball's into the Boston United area. That's cleared away by Grimes. Chasing after this one is Maguire. How long does the referee want to leave him on the side of the pitch? That's well over 30 seconds, isn't it? Still. Oh, now he's going to come on. There we go.
It was about a minute, wasn't it?
That was easy a minute. Didn't matter in the end. Boston United with 4 minutes to go plus stoppage time, 3-1 up here, and absolutely what they did was just kill the game, didn't they?
I just feel that since, as Lavinia's getting ready to come on, I just feel since Forest Green scored, Boston have been so much tighter. The game management, that's what we call it, don't we? They've kept the ball better. They've just, it's had more of an effect on Boston than it has Forest Green. Forest Green scoring. And Forest Green have not looked like scoring again.
Lancashire and Lavinia about to come on. Well, maybe not Lancashire, he's put on a pink bib, then he's taken one off. So you can tell the Trinity, thanks to Charlie Parks, 2-0 up, so potentially a very good night for our 3 Lincolnshire clubs in action. Boston 3-1 up here against Forest Green, all 3 goals in the first half. Maguire, Grimes and Curzons.
I think when you've got Lavinia and Lancashire ready to come on, it shows the strength of Boston's bench.
Yep. Bring a bit more energy for the last few minutes. Also, let's be brutally honest about it, take a bit more time out the clock as well.
Yeah, both defensively minded. Both probably feeling lucky they're not playing, but just shows the strength of this squad at the moment.
I tell you, if you come to a Boston game in the next few weeks, it might not sound the most exciting thing to do, but watch Grimes organising his defence. If you get a bit of time, it's a really good job as the ball's over the top and Donnelly chases in on it. He was just eased off by Bunker, the scorer. Do you know, if I was given a Forest Green player of the match, it would probably be him.
Not Bunker.
Yeah, although did they concede goals after he came on? I think they did, didn't they? No, they didn't. They were 3-0.
No, they didn't. He gave a free kick away after his first contribution.
Yeah, but he did score as well.
He's very good in the air, which Boston were winning everything in the air, weren't they? And he did a good job on Curzons, to be fair.
2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Forest Green trying to get it forward. Carson wins it back, trying to get Donnelly in. Comes back in midfield. Maguire with a little neat header. That's a foul, a free kick, and another 30 seconds off the clock.
He knew that was coming, Maguire, didn't he? And that's what he's done. You get in there, you draw the foul, and he's coming off.
Lavinia's going to come on for him.
Trying to think who the other one might be.
Go on, have a guess.
Oh, Carson. But Maguire, again, I think he'll be okay. He's just took one there, and
Maguire's coming off. He's been brilliant.
He's made out he's not seen the board. And Carson's coming off.
Would you like to congratulate yourself?
Thank you very much. Well done, Dale. It's taken 89 minutes
proud of you.
to get something. Who?
Your father.
Oh, well, he's listening, and I'm sure he's there nodding as he listens. Yeah, of course I am. So, no, 2 players coming off. Both have had really good games.
Yeah.
Maguire, as you say, he's a special player. He can just do something from nothing.
He's a good player.
Great penalty. And Carson, I've said it a few times, I just think he's getting better and better at left back. And they're not bad replacements at all. Lavinia and Lancashire. I think Lancashire's had a decent season, but Carson offers that more of an attacking threat at left back.
Grimes goes long, the edge of the Forest Green area. They're looking to bring it away. Boston try to commit forward, but not too much forward. He comes back for Grimes. He plays a good ball forward into the new signing McCarran. And Boston trying to win it back, and Ocean Gallagher misses his challenge, and Forest Green, we're going to find out in a few seconds. I reckon we'll have 5 minutes of stoppage time as they play it in the area. Bounces right across. It's going to be headed away, and it's 6. I thought you'd seen the board.
No, I just thought I'd try and be right again.
Ball in the box. Oh, we've had what, 5, 6 changes in the second half. 4 for Forest Green, 4 for Boston. 8 changes. So that's 4 minutes on its own, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, I think
there's been a couple of injuries. Carson was down.
Boston have to get this challenge right into the air. They come! Oh no! Forest Green have scored. They've got it back to 3-2. Nervous last 5 minutes coming up.
Well, we didn't want, did we? No, he's been their best player, in my opinion. He's come on at half-time. Drills it in, Lovett gets a hand to it. Can't quite keep it out. It just trickled in the end. Do they deserve it? Probably not. This is a huge, 5 minutes or so for Boston United.
That was slack.
Don't be disappointed with that.
That was slack.
But he's been a real threat since coming on, Knowles, and well, can Boston see this one out?
Well, 5 minutes if you're nervous. I mentioned the cricket earlier on, how England made it harder than it needed to be. Well, Boston United doing the same at the moment. Long ball downfield, flicked on, and they've got it out towards Bayabu on the left-hand side, trying to get in the box. They can't quite tee up the shot. Boston United forcing it away, and that's a good challenge back towards the halfway line, and sure Grimes is getting his line right halfway inside the Pilgrims half. Forest Green in possession. We're going to have 4 minutes to play for Forest Green to try and find a leveller in this game. Boston United will be very upset. Ball in the box is half cleared away for the Pilgrims.
What a clearance from Rooney.
Smashed away back towards the halfway line. Chris Doidge is encouraging his players not to get so deep, but Forest Green with a left-footed ball into the box, headed away again.
Rooney again. Brilliant.
And the problem is that Boston haven't got a line downfield in the same way as they had with Curzons.
No.
Ball into the area again, flicked on, loose inside the box. It's going to be a shot from distance, takes a deflection corner. Where's this come from?
Got to stop. Well, we've also got a crowd here. We can hear.
Yes, and people didn't realise there are some
keepers coming up, but they've got to stop these crosses coming in, which they've done really well to do so far. Oh, and they look so good at the last corner, didn't they?
3.5 minutes to go. Keeper falls over as it's loose inside the box, headed away, and Boston with a chance to smash it downfield. Oh. I know what you were thinking.
There was no one there, was there?
I know.
Going back to the original corner, slog it. That is such a clever header away.
Long ball back at Boston United. Again, it's frenetic. Where has this come from? Dale's frustrated. I'm sure you're frustrated at home. Boston United with 3-0 up. It's 3-2 now with Forest Green looking for an equaliser. Brilliant header away. That looked like a foul to me. Forest Green are going to pick it up on the edge of the area. 2.5 minutes or so to go. Boston trying to block off the cross. It comes into the area. Chested down. Pilgrims looking a bit panicked as the ball doesn't go out of play, and Boston smash it away, but it hits one Boston player. Gallagher goes up for it, flicks it on. It's going to roll out of play for a throw for Forest Green Rovers, and a drum of the bench from Dale next to me, Chris Doidge and Paul Hurst. Not happy as the ball's into the box. It's going to roll all the way through. Forest Green got hold of it. Left-hand side, trying to find the equaliser. Ball across the penalty, headed away by Rooney again. It sticks on Gallagher, and then it's smashed downfield. 2 minutes to go. It's Forest Green 2, Boston United 3, and this is more nervous than it needed to be.
Definitely.
Forest Green once again on the left-hand side. Long ball into the Pilgrims area. Grimes half heads it away. Back in the area. Across the 6-yard box. And Lavinia will smash it out for a throw.
I mean, I'm convinced McAllister there, that was a shot, and he's just completely sliced it. It just didn't fall for anyone in the box.
1.5 minutes to go. Forest Green looking for an equaliser on the edge of the Boston United area. Paul Hurst, hands in pockets, watching his team defend this one. Is it going to be one more moment in this game? Ball lifted into the penalty. Headed! Why? For a second I thought it was going in. It hung in the air. And Paul Hurst, he's nervous. That might be it.
Looks so
How's that
calm.
gone wide? It looked like it was going in.
I mean, Lovett was scrambling to try and get it. It's a good header. Hopefully that's the chance for Forest Green.
1 minute to go. Some of the Forest Green fans are beating the rush.
Just got to be careful here, Lovett. Do not get yourself sent off.
Long clearance from Lovett downfield. 45 seconds of stoppage time plus whatever is added. Competing for it on the halfway line. The noises you can hear are from Dale kicking every ball with the players. Boston, though, have it back. Sliding challenge.
Brilliant.
Boston coming through the middle. It's Gallagher. Gallagher to the edge of the area. Overruns it.
Got to get his head up there.
Going to be back with them, and it's fired downfield. It wasn't Gallagher, it was McCarran actually, and that's poor. That's really poor from Forest Green. And fingers crossed that could be it, because Lovett is going to have a goal kick, and by the time he has the goal kick, 6 minutes of stoppage time will have been played. Well, the home fans saying how much time is he taking? Well, we're past the 6 minutes.
That'll do.
So Lovett, there's no way he's going to give him a second yellow card now. Clears long. No. And it's long downfield. Boston don't win the header. It comes back at them again and smashed away by Grimes, and that's going to go out of play.
It's always a minimum,
20 seconds of extra time, if you see what I mean. By the time the throw comes in, we'll have played 30 seconds. So we know the referee's timekeeping wasn't great for the injury earlier on for Matty Carson. Ball down the middle, headed away, well, not brilliantly by Grimes. It's on the edge of the area, headed away again by Sloggett. Boston chase after it, referee still playing time, and that is it. Boston United have seen this one out. They've made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but it's finished 3-2 to the Pilgrims, all the goals coming in the first half. Dale, it could have been a lot easier. Paul Hurst is just saying, let's calm down a little bit here. Big smile on his face. You know, I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk about in that last 10-15 minutes from Paul and from Chris to the coaching staff, but they'll take a lot of positives from this once again to come to a team in and around the playoff places and be ahead in it.
I think it's an incredible win. It's an incredible performance. You're right, they made it harder than what they should have done because they were playing so well. I felt the first half was all about how Boston attacked. Penalty, whether it was not, or, Sloggett's in a great position and he's kicked in the head. Maguire is a great penalty. The second goal, Grimes from a corner. Boston look a threat from set pieces all the time now with the quality delivery from Maguire. Grimes heads it in. Curzons, he's through on goal. He's going to score 3-0. The first half, Boston offensively were outstanding. In the second half, it was all about how do you see this game and how do you make sure you win the game. And to be fair, they seem to hurry things. They seem to give the ball away cheaply at times. Forest Green pulled one back through Bunker, and I felt after that Boston, to be fair, saw the game out well. Bar one moment, I should say, where Knowles fired in past Lovett to make it a nervy ending. They had that header that was just wide. It was just a brilliant performance, really, really good, and they can be proud as they're celebrating now with those brilliant away fans. Boston United, it's doing the big cheer. It's Grimes, the skipper, that's leading it, and these are becoming very special moments at the moment for Boston, especially at these away games, and to go back to back at Scunthorpe at Forest Green just shows how they've turned things around. They're up to 10th, and yes, you're right, that last 6 minutes felt like 12. It was nerve-wracking, more nervy than it should have been. However, overall, Boston tonight, what a performance, what a win.
Do you know something? They wouldn't have wanted it to be like that for the last 10-15 minutes. But it also gives the management team a chance to go, brilliant first half, but we need to be better at this in the second half.
It gives them stuff to work on. But also you can be proud of the bodies on the line defending. How many last-ditch headers did we see? And again, as we just see now, certain Boston players going and speaking to all the fans, just announcing the home player of the match there, Michael, Tom Knowles, who I thought was excellent since coming off the bench. It's such a memorable night. It reminds me, we talk about last season of when they went to Rochdale. Exactly the same thing happened. Rochdale on the edge of the bottom half of the playoffs. Boston went 3-0 up. Rochdale pulled 2 back. It's happened again tonight. It's just been a wonderful evening.
It has. Let's talk through the goals. We'll get your player of the match in a moment. So today we're going to talk to Oisin Gallagher after when we go down pitch side and chat, just sorting that one out. But just remind you, Maguire, Grimes and Curzon's the goal scorers. Maguire, first of all, the penalty, I'm sure we'll hear from Robbie Savage. Really got a point out of this. It wasn't for the penalty. He'll be frustrated, but it was a great finish from Frankie.
It's a great penalty. He's been outstanding, Frankie. The penalty you thought was soft. It's one of them, but I also agree with you that if it had been given against Boston, I think we'd have certainly had a lot to say. But I also felt it was one of them anywhere else on the pitch. It's a free kick. The referee, I thought, was sensible. He had to think about it, didn't he? It was a good 5 seconds before he gave it. Maguire is a confident penalty. I think you spoke this very early on. Boston played with confidence tonight.
Yeah, I thought so.
And I even felt when they were hanging on at the end there, it was bodies on the line. They were still confident. They didn't let in a couple of goals and their confidence didn't drop. Maguire, great penalty, which part of a really good performance.
And the set piece for the second goal, lovely move to play it to Carson, I think, wasn't it? And then the ball in from Maguire into the box and Grimes headed home.
Just another assist for Frankie Maguire. He got 3 at Scunthorpe on the last away game. He's got another one today. It's a great cross. It was whipped in, wasn't it? I don't think Grimes jumps, does he? It's a free header. It's a great header, but I know because he's so tall, he didn't need to jump. Forest Green will be fuming, but for Boston, it was a clever set piece.
And then the cherry on the top of the cake, and certainly I suppose the decisive goal was Curzon's. And that was a great ball from Oisin Gallagher through the midfield area. But then, like you said, as soon as Curzon's goes through, you're like, he's going to score.
Well, Gallagher, I think, made quite a few of those bursting runs from midfield, and there's a couple of times he could have set either Curzon's or even Donnelly near the end there away, but that pass for Curzon's was perfectly weighted. Curzon's found himself through on goal, and like you say, I just resisted interrupting your commentary because I just knew it was going to go in. So yeah, brilliant finish.
Let's take you through the scorelines elsewhere then. National League, then we'll get to Dave Remden. I can tell you it's Halifax 2, Rochdale 2. Halifax scoring the 87th and the 92nd minute to get a share of the points. York 3-0 win at Scunthorpe, Boreham Wood a 2-0 win at Southend, and Tamworth a 5-1 win against Altrincham, albeit they were down to 9 men. And then Wealdstone 2, Brackley 1. Right, let's get across to Dave Remden at the North Home as we watch Engage with Trinity this afternoon.
Well, maybe not at their flowing best, Michael, but Gainsborough got the job done to move into the playoff places. The first half was a pretty nondescript affair, Trinity finding it difficult to keep the momentum flowing in the visitors' half of the pitch. The deadlock was broken 7 minutes from the restart.